Oh my goodness. Oh, did my camera just freeze up? Okay, so you can hear me, but you can't see me. Alright. Let's switch to this one. Nope, not that one. Should we just go back to bugs? You won't be able to hear me if we go back to bugs. Why have you done this? I had a couple of things disconnect, so that's interesting. I wonder if we can, like... Where? Is it this one? Okay, this one. Let's just remove that. Yep. And then we'll add it back, and we'll see if that does it, okay? Jiminy Christmas. No, it seems like it's gonna be stuck there. And you're hearing me with a slight echo. What? I don't think the echo has anything to do with me. Hello? Okay, nope, still doesn't want to work. Okay, well... Goodness gracious. It wasn't like this when I was doing my pre-stream testing. So... That's a little bit of a bummer. Just turn it off. Okay, there you go. Look, we're just gonna deal with a black screen for a minute here. This is painful to me. It's like, you know, you try to be like, yeah, it's all good, and inside you're just like dying a little bit. Okay. Device is currently being used by OBS. Well, not really. Still frozen. Okay. I don't really know what to do in this situation. So why don't we just chit-chat while I do this whole deal. So it's Sunday, and I really enjoy Sunday streams because we get to start early enough in the day that I haven't, like, manically done a bunch of shit and tired myself out. So, yeah, you know, I'm really considering just unplugging it and plugging it back in because it's like there's not really a good way to reset it in the software, I don't think. So, let me actually just do that really quick. I'll be back momentarily. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, we're restarting, resetting, configure video maybe. Okay, something has changed now. Okay, so... Hello, welcome back. Okay, obviously the settings are all jacked up, like the exposure's all effed up, but you know what? It's like we've made progress. So I'm not gonna complain. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, cool. Now I can go adjust it. But anyway, good to see you, everybody. Hello, it's Halloween month, so I'm still doing my, like, low-key cozy goth mode, pretty much. Okay, oh my god, we have some exposure things that need to be fixed. So much exposure. Okay, what about this? Okay. My two monitors have, like, quite different settings as well, so I'm like, okay, well, if it looks really bright on this monitor, maybe it won't look as bright on this monitor, okay? Take it down a little bit more. Camera stuff. Camera stuff. Okay, that's fairly balanced. I feel like that's fairly balanced. Not too shabby. Anyway, hi! Maybe we need a little color temperature adjustment. Some, like, white balance adjustment. Whoa. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit better. Can see my hair a little bit more than usual. Yes. Okay, cool. Well, we're just about back to normal now, having made some of those adjustments, so hopefully everybody had a pretty good week. I am looking forward to, like, going back to the gym hopefully this week. That's, like, one of my main goals for this upcoming week, is to return to doing gym stuff. Because it's been a minute since I have gone. Ooh, oh yeah. So I haven't said thank you to Kitty from earlier. Let me I'm just making my final tweaks here. Making some final. See, it's like, is that a little bit too warm? Just a smidge too warm? Hmm. Sure. And maybe it needs like a little bit less contrast so that my hair doesn't kind of like fade into the hoodie. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'll stop. I'll stop fucking with it now. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. Just gonna leave it. All right. Yeah, thank you so much for before the stream even started, we had a donation from Kitty. Where is this? I need it open. There it is. Okay. So yeah, Kitty had said, hey hun, I will dono more soon. Card issues, thank you for all you do. You have brought together a good community of people and help immensely with your voice. Thank you. Honestly, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I totally understand that people are broke this time of year. I am also broke this time of year, and it just, it do be like that. So no worries at all. Um, Oh, yeah. I guess someone opened it on YouTube in order to click like a good Horty, and then also opened it at luxander.net with two versions running. Therefore, there is an echo. Okay, well, I hope that it's done echoing now. And then thank you, Drums, for your tier 2 sub. That's 2 tier 2 subs. Enjoy your dicks, everybody. Oh, it was, oh, you got 3 months? I don't actually know how much that is. Forgot what I was gonna say. No worries. Went to a Halloween party last night. Ooh, exciting. Good internet is the opiate of the masses. I don't actually think so. I kind of think that people are able to agitate now in a way that they didn't used to be able to. So that's kind of fun. But okay, I also want to just tweak this a little bit to this side. It doesn't really want to stay where I put it. There we go. Hello. I'm on this side of the screen now. Welcome. Welcome. It's crazy how much better this looks on my main monitor versus when I drag it over to my secondary monitor. It's wild. Anyway, I'm going to update this. I don't know what the amount is. Flex? Question mark? I'm just going to do it like this, which is how I always do it. Gorgeous. Okay, cool. So we do have a couple of things that I plan on talking about today. We're going to have some fun. We're going to enjoy. There is, some of it's not going to be fun, obviously. Like, we're going to talk about, a little bit of climate change stuff. It's just a little bit of climate change information. Yeah, okay, no, it's so quiet. Why? I don't know. Why are you so quiet, sir? Thank you. Hello? Okay. I've just noticed in my recordings recently, this, like, my audio has been much quieter. Not totally sure why. Probably need to run updates on the microphone software, as per usual. Anyway. Is Lux out of focus? Hello. I feel like I'm in focus. But I don't know. IDK, my BFF Jill. We're struggling today, okay? Honestly, we're just struggling a little bit. But, so the things that we're going to talk about today, we've got a little bit of Anna Kasparian. She's being funny, as per usual. Being very funny, amusing. And then, oh gosh, what else do we have today? Yeah, we do have a story about climate change. Or, I guess not so much a story per se, as it is like a bunch of practical advice. Oh, Obsis, thank you so much for the $10 dono. Merry Octoberween. Indeed, Merry Octoberween. I love Octoberween. Like, Halloween starts on October 1st, so it is the whole month. Now the stream is just straight up not buffering for me, so I guess this one's a bust. Sorry, Baphomet. Oh, we'll see you later. You are a bit quiet to me. My volume is cranked to hear you. Yeah, like, I can see it. I can see in um OBS, like that it's not peaking in the manner that it usually does. So I don't know. Weird stuff. Just gonna minimize that. Anyway, um, but thank you so much for that dono. Everybody's been so kind today. It's like we're only in for like 20 minutes. We haven't even been talking about anything news-wise yet. Already at a third of the way to the dono goal today. So thank you, everybody. And then what's the other story? Oh my gosh, I had like another thing on the itinerary today, and it was, oh yeah. There is a billionaire has been discovered to, like, usually this particular guy is not like known for uh like donating to conservative causes, but apparently he's been fueling a lot of this anti-trans movement. Just glad you're back on Sundays. Oh, yes, thank you. I am so glad to be back on Sundays. It is, without a doubt, my favorite stream day. Tuesdays and Thursdays are good. But I'm actually thinking about starting them earlier. Like, I usually start at either 5 or 5:30 p.m., and I'm thinking that I'm probably going to start at like 4, maybe. I'll try that out so that I get more time before, like, a lot of the time I get off stream and then I go cook dinner. And so it's like, okay, one solution to that is, first of all, what are your favorite crockpot recipes? Everybody, tell me, what are your favorite crockpot recipes so that I can make something earlier in the day and then leave it alone and then not have to worry about getting off stream so that I can cook dinner. And the other thing that I could do is, just start earlier and have more time and then get off to go cook dinner as per usual. I might be able to catch more streams. Ooh, okay, yes. Because I know, yeah, folks over across the pond can't often attend the weekday streams because it's much later in the day for you guys if I start in the evening here. So yeah, I resub when I get paid. I spent all my monies to give candy to the local kiddies for Halloween. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. What counts as a crock pot? But chili? Yeah, chili is something that you could do in the crock pot for sure. Like, you would brown the meat first, but then you could put it in the crock pot for like the entire day, probably. Chili is gonna be good as it gets colder. I don't know about you guys, but chili is definitely a cold food. I mean, I'll have chili in the summer sometimes, but it just really hits the spot if you do it when it's nice and chill, like chilly outside. Chilly inside, chilly outside. Pulled pork. Pulled pork in the crock pot. Okay, very good. Anyway, we don't have to stay on the topic of food if y'all don't want to. We usually do chill at the beginning of stream, as everybody knows. There's only like 20 people in here right now, so you guys are probably the real ones anyway, so you know. We're here to hang out and vibe for a little while, and then we'll start talking about the serious news, okay? Let's say, like, the longer we chill at the beginning of the stream, the longer the stream will be in general. Use your hand mixer on low to shred the meat. We recently got rid of our hand mixer because the lowest setting was so fast still that it flings flour everywhere if you're trying to use it. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Any sort of taco meat is great in a crock pot. Yeah, I was thinking like chicken and rice could be good. Like a chicken and rice in the crock pot. Definitely brown the chicken first, like sear it, and then pop it in there and make like, put some vegetables in there or something. Some various seasonings could be yummy. Like, how do I make this entire meal task easier? I think that I'm about to be... Listen, I think I am becoming the kind of person who does meal planning. Like, this is the person that I've become. Okay, here's who I used to be, right? I was like, all right, most of my time I spend playing video games or, like, otherwise dicking around on the internet. Going to work at a shitty job, and for a number of years there, it was overnight. So you can imagine the number of, like, health issues that go along with that. And, yeah, just generally, like, felt like shit all the time and never went anywhere or did anything. And now I'm become a person who's like, I cook all the time instead of eating out all the time, and I go to the gym like several times a week, and I do yoga, and I'm on a set sleep schedule that involves getting up pretty early. um like I'm gonna try meal planning. I'm like all these things, all these different things, and it's really weird. Like I'm just a totally different person as I approach 30 than I was when I was 20. And it's not like bad, I guess. And like I'm the same individual, obviously, but the things that I want to do are totally different. Like I cannot imagine, I don't know, I guess 10 years ago me would find something like rock climbing fun. But probably like, I don't know. It's just like the dedication required to like go to the gym and maintain a diet and like be responsible enough to be like working and cleaning your house and all these extra things. With 4 kids, it's hard to have the time to stand at the stove for an hour or more. Yeah, that's true. I go to the gym, but my diet is shit, TBH. Fair enough. Okay. Delicious. Kodiak Bear, I just saw your message, and I appreciate that you're here and hanging out with us. I've eaten 2 dozen hot dogs in the past week. It's not just me. Occasionally I get like a craving, and I'll just buy a packet of hot dogs and a packet of hot dog buns, and I'll just gradually, like, I'll heat up 2 of them in the microwave or maybe on the stove, and then I'll just like a little bit of jalapenos, a little bit of ketchup, and just there you go. Eat the hot dog. Just you get a craving sometimes. Can't help myself. Got the cravings. Okay, I gotta leave my hair alone. It's the Woodcook hot dog sketch IRL. True. I don't remember that one actually. But we love the whitest kids you know. 26 viewers. We're having a slow start today, but we appreciate you hanging out. Hit the like button, please. And if you don't want to hang out, hit the like button before you leave. It still helps. I prefer ketchup and sweet relish. I don't like sweet relish. Sometimes I'll take an entire pickle spear and put it in there and then ketchup. And I don't know. Yeah, usually, like, yeah, I'm a ketchup on hot dog person. Anyway, I don't want to get on a whole food thing at the beginning of stream, okay? That's more of an end of stream kind of thing, where we just start talking about food because I get hungry. I'm not super hungry right now. So, I want to err away from that because people do tend to, like, drop off as we start talking about food. Self-care check-ins? Yeah, I mean, do people want to do self-care check-ins? What have we been doing lately? Like, what have y'all been doing lately? We haven't done this in a while. You folks. Like, exercise? Have you gone and seen friends lately? Have you, started a new skincare routine? I'm also becoming a person who does skincare routines. It's so weird. It's like, who is this responsible person? What's up, Anansi? Welcome in. We are chilling and enjoying our Sunday. Sunday's a good day for relaxation. It's a good day for chill times. We'll talk about the serious politics in a few minutes, okay? It's just going to be in a little bit. I plead the 5th. Yeah, not doing a good job taking care of yourself. Good gracious. I took care of myself by calling out from work when I was sick. Yeah, you definitely should do that. Skincare, witch hazel is the fountain of youth, I swear. Witch hazel is an astringent. I feel like that wouldn't be good for some. I have really dry skin. Maybe if you have really oily skin, then witch hazel might be good, but I already have really dry skin and like psoriasis/eczema. I don't know what it is. Hey, Avi's on a regular sleep schedule now. Yes, and finally has an organized space to live in. Hell yes. Trying really hard with quitting tobacco, having some slip-ups, but definitely at a lower use than ever before. Yeah, I'm trying to stop using the nicotine vape, and it's, like, kind of difficult to do. But I'm switching medications, and I need to stop doing it. Started yoga and refocusing on my sobriety. Fuck yes, congratulations, drums. I like the green and blue. I do think that the green and the other dark green were the wrong colors in chat. Witch hazel followed by a moisturizer. Yeah, see, I use like a very gentle facial cleanser. Like I use a sensitive skin brand, dermatologist recommended, not owned by Johnson and Johnson. Like, you know, I go for pretty, like, I don't know, like drugstore expensive skincare products. I moisturize and then use witch hazel, and it has shrunk my pores. Your mileage may vary, I guess. Shrinking my pores is not like a thing that I was trying to do, but maybe I'll have to fit that into my skincare regimen. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Trying to stick to a new skincare routine and actually focus on my hair and dressing in more than just sweatpants and a t-shirt. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's like a goal that I have. Like, oh, I should actually just write that in my little planner thing. I have a little planner guy. I got a cute little planner that has a lot of good stuff in it. It's gonna be like, it's a 2024 planner, but it has the months October, November, December in it. It's not like they don't have the week by week for those 3 months, but I figured like, okay, I can still use it, and like I could get more utility out of it starting in January, but it's not gonna hurt to use it and like get started thinking about like, oh, what are my goals for the next, I guess I'll just consider it the next year and a few months. So yeah, but like dressing for stream is something that I've been thinking about doing. Like, should I do makeup for stream? Should I like put on interesting outfits? Like right now, it's just cozy Halloween vibes. That's all I'm trying to accomplish right now. Like, I'm not really in frame well enough for you to see that this shirt has skulls on it, but it does. Over here we got like various, well, I'm trying to get a good angle where it's like you can see what this guy says, because he's sparkly. There he goes. He says rip. I guess that's good enough. But yeah, like we try to create vibes here. We're trying to create spooky ooky vibes. Oh my gosh. Do these lights behind me need to be a little bit dimmer though? What do I keep doing with the remote? I'm gonna lose it. Okay. Maybe that's a little bit better. Oh my gosh. I had to remove like 90% of products from my regimen, and I am down to Castile soap for all washing and a clarified cocoa butter oil blend for both my hair and in place of lotion. I react to like everything and need to switch the fragrance on my soaps pretty frequently. I only wash my hair like twice a month with soap and usually use oil to cleanse my hair weekly. Skincare is fun stuff. Like skincare, hair care, all quite challenging. You're always at above average levels of fetching. Fetch. Oh my god, why? That's so much more blinky than it was before. Okay, chill. Thank you. Gosh. Rest in pepperonis? I know. I took some days off from my upper back and started getting up for a proper breakfast. Yes, a breakfast that I've been doing lately, because I am trying to, like, eat a little bit less, I guess. I'm just trying to, like, think about what I'm eating a little bit better, right? And so in the mornings, a lot of the time, I'll eat an apple with some peanut butter. And that's, like, it's delicious. It's got good stuff in it, and it makes you feel full for a long time. I also treated myself to see Killers of the Flower Moon in theaters last weekend, and I'm glad I did because Demon Mama had a review on it. Nice. I haven't been watching Demon Mama's content. Can someone explain to me? She posted a video not too long ago, a couple months ago, that was like, I'm changing everything about my channel or something like that. Does anybody know what that was about? Is she like, I'm not going to do the same kind of politics posting as usual? Or, I don't know. Try sun butter on Granny Smith's, like sunflower seed butter. I've never had sunflower seed butter, but it would probably be pretty good. I've had peanut butter I feel like I've probably had almond butter before, although I don't really love almonds. And I've had pistachio butter a little bit. Demon Mama's video was coming out as trans. Was it a joke video? My sweetheart bought me some new makeup the other day and I need to start practicing. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm learning a little bit more about how to make makeup not look like shit on my super hooded eyes. And I haven't employed any of the tricks I've most recently learned, like about where to apply eyeliner, like even just like, okay, on your lower lash, put it in this place and not in this place, because if you put it in this place, it drags your eye down. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's fucking genius. Oh, I'm the one who's joking. Okay, cool. Her content has seemed pretty similar since then. Maybe a fewer drama mama posts, but pretty consistent. Yeah. I don't know. I am terrible about watching people's content, even if it's folks that I really like and like am invested in, you know, what's going on with them, or like I'm interested in what's going on. Like I don't watch any of the major politics people unless it's with you guys for the most part. It's just, you know, quite difficult. Anyhoozle, if you're just coming in, hit the like button. Do it. I mostly watch you on DM these days, with a few others on and off. Yeah. We will watch something to react to it on stream, but I don't really hang out in live streams. It's a little bit exhausting to me. I can't help but like type things. I'm a bad lurker. Does anybody have anything that you think we should add to the list to talk about today, besides like the couple of things that we already have on the list? We have a politics thing related to anti-trans people, and we have a climate change thing, and we have a dumb Anna Kasparian thing. So it's like those are the major beats as far as actual conversations that we're going to have today. Unless someone wants to share and suggest other things, because I'm super open to adding to the list. We're probably going to go for a while today. So we got time. We got time to languish our way through it. We're just going to languorously move through it. I'm having eyeliner frustrations. The eyeliner pen keeps doing collateral damage. Uh-oh, not a very accurate pen. Vermont school codified trans rights for kids recently. That's cool. In, like, bathrooms and nicknames and stuff, I assume. That's good stuff. Is that, was that on Aaron? I don't know if that's, like, something that's, like, segment-worthy, but we might still talk about it. AaronInTheMorning.com. Where are we at right now? Yeah, largest school district in Vermont unanimously codifies trans rights for students. I can't talk today. La 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 la. I'm just kind of looking at this article about Vermont that Aaron wrote, and yeah, I mean, it's definitely good stuff. Bathrooms, pronouns, etc. We love to see it. We love to see a couple of wins every once in a while. Every once in a while. I built my kitties a cat tree and they love getting up high so much. That's good stuff. I saw a video earlier today of a guy who's, I want to say German Shepherd. It wasn't quite a German Shepherd, but it was like quite similar to that, and I can't remember any of the other names for those similar type of dogs. But it liked to get up on top of the refrigerator. So there's just a bunch of videos of this dude being like, that's my refrigerator dog. And then comments being like, I think that's a cat. And it's just like different fridges on different days, clearly. Yeah, I saw, Matthew Perry died yesterday. It was reported yesterday, at least. I don't know if he died yesterday. Right. Yeah. The first article that I saw said that it was a drowning, but I think that it was actually a cardiac arrest or a heart attack, perhaps. So, you know, I'm not gonna say it was COVID, but like he was 54, so I mean, I feel like there's a probability of influence there. Lots of people dying. I feel like we are hearing a lot more of like celebrities dying in their 50s lately that we didn't used to hear about. But I don't know if maybe that's just my perception because it's celebrities that I care about more now, right? Like if it were 10 years ago, maybe there were like people dying and I just didn't give a shit about them because they just weren't in the media that I was familiar with as much. I don't know. Hot tubs are known to exacerbate heart issues. Interesting. Hot tub raises your blood pressure really high. Oh, so you're saying he could have had a cardiac arrest in a hot tub and then like drown? That's a good point. Anti-vaxxers be like, vaxxed? Lux be like, long COVID? Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, statistically speaking, which one of these is more likely expands all the liquids in your body? Fair enough. And, like, your body is trying to cool down, so it is pushing more blood out to your capillaries, which can, like, makes your heart work harder. Most recent I heard is a heart attack win in the pool, so that's where the drowning comes in. Okay, so the most recent thing that we're seeing is that he probably died from a heart attack. So yeah, every time this happens, I'm like, yeah, let's like, I know that he also did drugs before, like he had struggled with some kind of addiction. I don't know what with, but I do know that, you know, he has reportedly said that he does not remember filming roughly 3 seasons of the show Friends because of mixing like Vicodin and alcohol. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, you don't remember anything. I'm surprised you didn't have random respiratory failure. He has a history of coke too. Yeah, I don't know what the drug is. Like when the article that I was reading said Vicodin and alcohol, and I don't know if it was like that or if it was something else. Rapid dehydration too. Honestly, it is comparable to wet bulb weather. Yeah, of course, right, because your body's trying to cool itself down and it can't. So that's why you're supposed to be, hot tubs are supposed to be within a specific temperature range, and you're not supposed to be in them for much longer than 10, 15 minutes. So celebrities from the 80s and 90s have a high early mortality rate for some strange reason. This has been happening at a high rate since before COVID. Nevertheless, COVID certainly could be a contributing factor. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So, like, maybe it's because of the drug culture. Like, because, for example, cocaine was so common in the 80s and 90s in those industries. Like, it's not as common now. I mean, people are still doing it, but I don't think that it's as ubiquitous as it may have been back then. So I can see how that does heart damage. Right. 20 minutes at most in the hot tub. So, yeah, unfortunate. But all good thoughts to his family and all that shit. Hopefully, they keep making plenty of money off of his estate. He'll continue to receive some kind of royalties, I'm sure. That is something that you see a lot when working in rehab. People work so hard to get sober, but a lot of the time there's already damage. Yeah, but it's still worth it to stop the damage from getting worse, obviously. It's still worth it to be like, no, I want to get a life worth living even if I've already like damaged my overall lifespan. I used to work as a lifeguard for the YMCA and was constantly having to tell people not to put their heads underwater in the hot tub because it cooks your brain. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Yeah, we're talking about Matthew Perry. Yeah. It's always worth it to prevent further damage if you're having one of these type of issues. So, I think that he was sober. Like, there were no drugs at the scene, allegedly. Like, everything was on the up and up. Like, he had been clean for a long time, as far as I can tell, which is that's really commendable. And it sucks that like there's a possibility that those couple years of his life back then like took so many years off of the end of his life. I went way too hard for over a decade, but clean for 4 years. You listen, kitty. Clean for 4 years is definitely something to be proud of. You know, it's hard to say what it is that is going to contribute to early death. There's people who like are really, really on it with their skincare and they don't smoke cigarettes and like they do all these things. They don't drink soda and like they still get some kind of cancer, right? Because the world is fickle. Like, and there's people who smoke for 40 years and they never have any health issues, like as a direct result. Like they might have, the smoker's cough associated with killing the cilia in your throat, but like they don't, it's not like a guarantee that smoking cigarettes forever is gonna give you lung cancer. It's just pretty likely. So yeah, like, but you can do everything right and still end up screwed. So you have to do that balance between like, am I getting enough out of my life and also making sure that I'm gonna live like as many good years as possible. This is why I take COVID so seriously, because for me, there's no like, it's not the exchange between like, oh, I know I'm gonna die someday, and like I still want to have good experiences, like, and want to feel like I'm living my life, right? Because I don't want to have experiences now that limit my total number of good years, So it's like I'm not going to do crazy drugs because I don't want the potential heart damage from doing a bunch of cocaine. Like how many celebrities have to die with cocaine in their systems before you go, oh yeah, probably you shouldn't be doing that drug, right? Like, I mean, obviously it's illegal anyway, so it's like whatever. Pretty easy to not do it on account of that. It's like, how do you even get a hold of coke? Like, like cannabis is legalized, so you can at least go to a place where it's legal if you live in a place where it's not. But yeah, not so much with harder drugs. George Burns smoked 10 or 15 cigars per day, but he died at 100 years old. Listen, yeah. So, I always say it's good to enjoy your life. Trust me, quality, not quantity. You never know when you're going to hit a moose. I mean, yeah, but I do want to live like a good number of good years. If I can be like 80 and be like active still and still enjoying life and can taste food and can like remember people and like don't need help to fucking go to the bathroom, then like cool, yeah, I would be psyched to have a lifespan that goes that long, as long as those years are lived in good health, Smoking 5 cigars per week, yeah. And the thing too with like, particularly with like cigars, because of the mouth cancer issue, is like people I think my age and younger are less likely to have they're just somewhat less likely to have the head, neck, and throat cancer response because of our having been vaccinated against HPV. Whereas like older people who may come in contact with that, like it's just like smoking and like using cigars and stuff and like HPV potential risk exposure. Like the older you are, the more likely you are to have been exposed to one of the ones that could potentially cause like a mouth cancer. So yeah, like a lot of younger people don't have that issue as well. Honestly, have no real reason to be scared. My youngest grandparent I ever lost was 84. My dad is 69 now and my mom is 65 while having lupus and fibro. We don't die easy. You're hardy motherfuckers, apparently. Very nice. I survived a lightning strike at 14, so I'm durable. Do you have any cool scars? That sounds cool. Like, I mean, you can get some really neat scars. I've seen really neat ones. There's a lot of conflation of life expectancy, lifespan, and health span. Life expectancy is how long we can expect a person will live based on all the factors of life, and is mostly dependent on making a safer world with available resources. Lifespan is how long a human can live, which actually hasn't changed much over the years. And health span is how long your body/mind is healthy, and that's the one that modern medicine is primarily able to change. Yeah, like how many years? And I don't think it's just modern medicine. I do think it has to do with how active you are. and like how involved in the community you are, like people who quit work, like people who retire and then they go home and they're like, okay, this is my time to rest. Those people start aging. Like they start seeming old quickly compared to people who retire and they're like, I'm going to go travel and hiking and all this stuff. I'm going to go places and meet new people. Like, you know, there is a difference in just like what you choose to do with your life, you know? And I'm not even saying like you have to become a person who goes to the gym, although that definitely will lengthen the amount of time. I mean, barring the idea that you have like a degenerative connective tissue disorder or something, like you are more likely to have more healthy years the more you keep your body moving, like as to the extent that it's possible for you within your limitations, obviously. Those scars almost make me want to get hit by lightning. I love scarification. I know. Scarification is really cool, but the only thing is that there's no guarantee that it's going to show up in the particular way that you want it to. And you, like, the scars will show up better the more you, like, fuck with it. And I'm like, that sounds like a bad healing process. I don't want to, like, have to pick at my scab in order to make it scar up worse and stuff. Let's not forget how stress is such a big killer. For actors even more so. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. They, like, stress shortens your lifespan. You know, financial stress, medical stress. Cortisol is, like, unhealthy for you. Talking about the lightning strike, Kitty says, there are internal scars on my heart, lungs, and in my brain. The doctors spent hours looking for burns on my outside because I smelled like burnt meat. And then they ended up figuring out that I was exhaling that smell out of my lungs. Wow, 95% of survivors have severe memory problems. Oh, well, shit, that's, yeah. Do you have, like, a marked difference in memory after? I'm a degenerate, but my connective tissue is fine. But also, like, peace and also fuck you, because, yeah, trans femmes, by and large, do y'all not have, like, widespread connective tissue problems? Because it seems like in the trans masculine end of things, like, there are a lot of comorbidities with connective tissue problems. It's best to have some kind of job you can do when you retire, repairing cars, watchmaking, etc. Something you know well that you can continue to do in advanced age, 20 or 30 years after retirement. I mean, just, you don't even, it doesn't have to be a job even, just something that you're doing. Even if you're like, you know, my mother-in-law who does quilting, mostly she makes quilts for people that she loves. She's like, oh, this person had a baby, I gotta start working on a quilt for that baby. And then she works on it on and off for like 7 years, and then takes forever to do the bunting, like I think that's what you call the edging. And yeah, it's just like, it's fun to do stuff in your old age, even if it's just something because you're going to give it to your grandkids. My grandma loves quilting too. Not a fan of trans people though. Yeah, my mother-in-law is chill with trans people. I already have memory problems. Strike me, strike me, Zeus. Strike me, Zeus. Strike me down. Oh, God. My dad told me that he's doing what he loves in his old age, i.e. doing your mom. Nice. I watched or read something that said trans femmes are more likely to have autoimmune and connective tissue issues than their cis male counterparts, so I think being femme or AFAB in general increases the chances. I mean, I don't know that it's being femme or AFAB, or if it's something about being trans. 7-year edging. The same thing does apply for trans femmes. I've had to be careful because of hypermobility issues, and estrogen has increased my flexibility and put me at even greater risk of overstretching. I want to know the secret behind Korean and Japanese grandmas living for ages, other than them drinking a lot of pork leg soup, which is rich in collagen. Those women be living to their 90s and 100s. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I don't know what it is. Is it like the air quality is better? Or, yeah, like maybe. I know that rich people used to be really into bone broth. Like if you look at historical accounts of recipes, and it's not like poor people who couldn't read were writing down their recipes. So we're talking about periods of time in which there was a class distinction with literacy, right? So when these recipes were being written down, like it's common for rich people to be really into bone broth historically. Is the stream working for you? Yeah, it seems like it's working for me. But also, what's up? Hello, Umtic. Maybe it's an estrogen puberty thing. Well, I guess the question is like whether you have these issues before you start estrogen if you're trans feminine. But I do know that estrogen, like, I can see why estrogen is correlated with loosey-goosey connective tissue because, for example, if you're pregnant, you have a ton of estrogen in your body, and it's partially one of the things that happens is that your connective tissues all loosen up so that your body is able to stretch in the ways that is required to make room for the baby. Bone broth is amazing. My mom drank it often when she carried me and fed me some too when I was a kid, so my teeth are super strong. See, that I think I read recently that collagen, it's not like you consume collagen and then it turns into collagen in your body. You break it down and then your body rebuilds collagen on its own. So it's like even if, as a person with a connective tissue disorder, I were to take collagen or drink bone broth, like my body would still be digesting that stuff and then it would be doing a shitty job of building new collagen. And actually something that I want to try is I got some vitamin C tablets that I was thinking about like taking. I need to take them at night, by the way. I take Ritalin. I'm on Ritalin. And if you take something with vitamin C, it will basically just neutralize the Adderall or Ritalin or whatever you're on. And different like medicines have that response with vitamin C. So honestly, like, I think that generally it's recommended if you're going to take vitamin C to take it at night. Like, if you're taking something like Ritalin during the day. So I want to take it at night. But vitamin C allegedly is supposed to help your body do a better job of building collagen. So it's like instead of taking a collagen supplement, I'm going to take vitamin C is the idea. You also become more attractive to the lightning for some reason the more times you have been struck. I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. Neurodivergent people are more likely to be hyperflexible. Right, Anansi. Like that's the thing, is that there's this weird crossover with like autism / other neurodivergencies and being trans and EDS and other connective tissue disorders. And IBS. Let's not forget the gut issues. And like I happen to think that the gut issues are more have more to do with belonging to a minority group that is highly stressed out. So like I think autistic people are more likely to follow through with their feelings when they recognize that they're trans, which is I think why we have so many autistic trans people allegedly. And oh my god, I was in the middle of saying something and then it just completely went away. But yeah, like, so neurodivergent autism and connective tissue. It's like, how is the connective tissue thing related to being trans? Is that like, is it on one of the chromosomes or something? Like, is it similar to Crohn's disease in that Crohn's disease happens on this one chromosome, and that one chromosome also affects all these other things? So if you have that one chromosomal anomaly, then you not only have Crohn's, but you also have a lot of other problems, right? Like, is this a similar thing where like we could discover one day that there is some particular gene that seems to fuck up all of these things all at once? Like, I don't know. I doubt it, to be honest. Like, I really don't think that we're ever going to find it. But it's just interesting that those things seem to correlate so much. Oh, shoot, Anansi, I'm sorry your internet's being shit. We'll see you later. The gut issues can also be linked to dietary restrictions if there are a lot of sensory issues with foods. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully no eugenicists are in the chat. Right, and I'm not, yeah, because, like, I don't really know that we can meaningfully change our genetics on purpose anyway. And like the fact that you would need to convince people that it's ethically okay, like I don't know what vested interest the government would have in doing that. My bet would be some event during embryonic development. That's fair, because we do suspect that transness could be like, for example, my mom had polycystic ovarian syndrome, like an elevated level of testosterone in her body. And if she had elevated testosterone while she was incubating me, an infant that was supposed to turn out female, then like my brain could have developed like a masculine identity or masculine brain body map that is like distinct because it happened when my brain was developing later on in the pregnancy, And like in all likelihood, I probably also have PCOS, so it's a good possibility that like my mom had this what a lot of people consider to be an intersex condition, and that I probably also have it as well. Like I started growing facial hair before I ever started tea, for example, Oh my god, I need to drink more water. Whew. I will have to get more of that before too long. So I hope everybody's doing okay. We've been chit-chatting for about an hour, and that typically is how long we kind of just shoot the shit at the beginning of our stream. Sometimes we'll lag for a little while longer, and we'll talk about more bullshit for longer. The park ranger Roy Sullivan was struck mostly on his job. However, he worked on a mountain and in fire towers. Excuse me, he was in a high location where lightning is likely to strike. There's a picture of him with a burn mark in his ranger hat from one of the strikes. That's too funny. To be honest, if it were illnesses like cancer, cystic cancers, etc., I'm all for isolating the gene that may cause it. It's just the part where bigots like racists and ableists go too far that I have a problem with. Right, because the question is, if you're able to genetically edit human beings, who gets to decide what is a genetically desirable trait, And that is where it becomes dicey. Like, that is where the ableism comes in. Because currently, the people who would be in charge of deciding what traits are desirable or not, like, I don't trust those people to make that call. So, that's just me. But anyway, we keep like getting a few viewers and then dropping them again, and it's like, I guess people are really excited about the fucking Anna Kasparian shit today. So should we do that? Do we need to do that? Oh god. Or maybe I should just put "and more" in the title so that people understand that it's not just a show about that. And more news. Oh my god. There, okay. J.K. Rowling's back? Oh no, what is she doing? Vash's stream is having YouTube issues too. Apparently it is system-wide. Okay. Yeah, they called her a person with the hard N. I think we're halfway to a dystopian young adult novel sitting here. Yeah, I am actually rewatching The Hunger Games again. I just rewatched the first movie last night, and I started the second movie, and then I was like, I gotta go to bed. So yeah, it's weird that that's one of my comfort movies at this point, but it's familiar. I think that's the main thing. It's familiar. Has anybody else been having a very difficult time being on Twitter right now? Like, okay, I feel like I probably am not allowed to say very much detail about this topic that I'm about to talk about. Because, you go on Twitter right now, and Blue Sky is not dissimilar. I mean, actually, on Blue Sky, I follow a lot of sex workers, so mostly I just see a bunch of, like, people begging for tips all day, and I really need to change that. Does anybody want a Blue Sky invite? Because I have some to give away. But Twitter is particularly difficult to be on right now because it's kind of like full of videos of tiny human bodies that are no longer containing any life in Palestine. So, that's just kind of been the contrast for me right now is like, okay, of all of the things that we've been dealing with lately, all the shit that I have going on in my life, like my partner and I were talking shit. So we play the game Sea of Thieves. It's a pirate kind of game, whatever. You're sailing around, and we were comparing it to Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and we were like shit talking Black Flag and like the graphics and the dynamics of the ship. And I was like, it's kind of nice to just talk shit on something completely inconsequential. I've only been able to browse my direct follows when I go on Twitter for that exact reason, Lux. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I find it, I don't find it like so upsetting that I can't look at it. I mean, just tons of Middle Eastern news. Like, just, it's crazy to me. This is how I've always experienced Twitter. Twitter for me is how you get the real information with no filter or bias. Like, with, to the extent that videos can be cut conveniently, like I think that I can pretty well tell for the most part. Black Flag gets an extra star for letting you sing shanties, though. Well, Sea of Thieves has a bunch. Everybody on the crew can play an instrument, like, and you have access to multiple instruments that you can play. There's no singing, but there's whistling. But yeah, it's been pretty rough to exist on the internet right now. And then I go back to Facebook, because this is like, I guess the main scrolling that I do lately is on Facebook, because it's got some people that I actually know, and then it's got like a lot of video content, just short video content. I do think it's important, though. The tide of public opinion is turning against Israel. Putting pressure on Biden to stop the genocide that we're funding with our tax dollars is very important. Right. I do think that this is quite possibly one of the biggest protests that Americans, or globally, that there have been with regards to the Israel-Palestine conflict. For so many years, people have treated it like, oh, it's a dicey situation. Oh, you can't really come down on either side. Oh, there's wrong on both sides. And like, it just seems as though, I'm assuming that the difference is, for example, Snapchat maps. I think that that's one of the big things that makes a difference. And Twitter and Instagram. I mean, Instagram, of course, is going to flag your content for being graphic if you're posting videos of unalived toddlers. But like, yeah, I just think that globally we're able to see things that we haven't been able to see before, because, the United States media is a kind of really important component of the military-industrial complex, and they control the narrative of what we see. If the news is presenting this as the Hamas-Israel war, or the Israel-Hamas war, that's presenting it as though it's like a two-sided conflict. And in reality, what we're seeing is like hospitals being bombed and many children being affected, because half the population in Gaza is children. So of course, if random buildings are being bombed, then you're going to inevitably end up harming children. And that just seems like that should be the end point. Although as an American, it always feels like, you feel like, oh, well, yeah, now that children have been harmed, someone's going to do something about it, right? We evoke the concept of harm to children often. And I think that kind of is a disservice, like, to children, obviously. But it is, like, it's supposed to be the trump card, and it seems to just not work for some people. But I do think that, like, yeah, knowing that is happening should make people feel bad. And like, obviously many people across the world are saying, like, these children and these individuals, these people don't deserve to just be randomly killed. They're civilians. They don't have anything to do with any conflict. Yeah, and it does kind of feel like, and I think I said this before, but it kind of feels like the United States government's official position is like, well, we like making money selling things to Israel, or at least like we enjoy sending them guns. And, you know, once they kill all the Palestinians, then there's not really going to be a problem anymore, is there? That kind of feels like what the official United States government position is. Although, obviously, many Americans are upset by this. And Jewish people are out here saying, like, ceasefire, not in our name. The UN almost unanimously voted for a ceasefire with some exceptions. And basically, like, I don't know why it is that most of the countries in the world can vote for a ceasefire. And then if the United States and the UK vote no, then that, like, cancels the entire vote. That seems insane to me because we can just veto a call for a ceasefire in a country where like a very active genocide is being perpetrated. Right, yeah, I'm disgusted with the politicians in my country supporting what Israel is doing and also abstaining from voting against the genocide being stopped. Oh, Silent, I'm so sorry you're sick. Oh, I hope you feel better soon, but hello, yes. Also, as living conditions worsen for most US citizens, people have way less of a tolerance for the government contributing its tax dollars to mass slaughter, even if they are sympathetic to Israel. I guess that's fair as well. If you're sitting there struggling, if your school is, you know, the school that your kids go to is underfunded, the textbooks are falling apart, they can't keep teachers staffed, like, of course you're going to be upset that tax dollars are going toward something happening overseas. I've been paying attention to Israel-Palestine for a while before this conflict broke out, and people in my life are bringing this up to me for the first time in their lives and trying to shill for the IDF and tell me, oh, you just don't understand. You only just started paying attention. Like, actually, bitch, that's you. Yeah, I've seen some people very confidently say, like, I don't even really know much of the details about what's going on there, but what I do know is that Hamas started this conflict, and they've started all these different conflicts, and it's like, wow, yeah, I bet you're super, super educated and not just swallowing hook, line, and sinker, like, all of this pro-Israel propaganda, frankly, that the American press tends to put out. And okay, so I said this before, and I'm going to say it again because this time the commentary is going to actually probably make it into its own video. Like, I think that this is going to be a segment because I'm back into editing, first of all. Like, that's the number one reason why this is going to be a segment. But I think it's important to say, you know, even taking a fucking cursory glance at what's going on over there in Israel, Palestine, like, okay, cool. Yes, I'm aware that there have been various conflicts over the land ownership situation in that region for a long time, right? And at the same time, right now, Israel is a dominant power that has the backing of, at the minimum, the United States government, and we have so much money for guns. So we can just give them, like, lots of guns. And then in Palestine, you end up picking up these, like, these, like, shells and stuff that say, LOL, made in America, get good, son. And, like, that's super shit. Like, our tax dollars are going toward that. That's not okay. Oh my god. I'm doing this again. My brain just stops working in the middle of what I'm saying. Oh my god. Yeah, so, like, okay. Israel having the power of the US government behind it, and then versus, you know, Palestine and the Gaza Strip, where Israel has power over them. They can cut off power. Like, they can cut off electricity, they can cut off utilities, they can cut off Wi-Fi, and then the Palestinian people have to figure out how to fix the Wi-Fi and stuff like this. Like, literally having to rebuild their own infrastructure from being sabotaged by the Israeli occupying forces. And it just is very clear at this point in time, at this time in history, that, you know, obviously after the Holocaust, after World War II, there were a lot of Jewish people who had been displaced, and frankly, the United States and other governments were like, yeah, but we don't want any more Jews in our country. And like, frankly, like the unspoken position that they secretly have is that they don't actually want Jews in the country at all. Like, tell me that American like politicians, the old school kind, tell me that the old school American politicians are not sitting there thinking, yeah, but maybe our country would be better if there weren't any Jews in it. I mean, it's probably not just the Republicans, but the Republicans are the ones who are more likely to slip and actually say so. But yeah, there just wasn't like any willingness to bring them into the country. And so we had to put them somewhere, and we're like, okay, LOL, we've just decided that we're going to put them over in this area that has, you know, we had no business sticking our nose into, like the numerous different conflicts over the land ownership there. And like, we just worsened that situation, I think. And then you continue fueling Israel, like displacing Palestinians. And like, yeah, at some point, Hamas was like a terrorist organization retaliating against Israel, right? And it still is to this day. Maybe it started out more legitimate. And like, but Palestine and Hamas, they don't have the kind of power required to fight back on any equal level. This is just an extermination attempt from Israel on Palestine. The children who are being harmed, the fact that they're attacking civilian like areas, that they're creating refugee camps and then following up on and attacking those refugee camps, like, it's pretty obvious at this time who the aggressor in this conflict is. And that's why we say free Palestine. That's why we say, like, support Palestine. Their phrase that they use, I think, is "we are not numbers," as opposed to like Black Lives Matter. And Palestinians supported Black Lives Matter. You can find online like murals in Palestine of George Floyd. And yeah, I think that their similar sort of hashtag catchphrase thing is "we are not numbers," because yeah, so much of the news about Palestine just comes down to, oh, you know, 200 dead in attack today. Like 200 living, breathing human beings who had lives and aspirations and goals and loves and hates, you know, like they had full and complete lives. They're not just statistics. So I can see how difficult that is for those folks. And like, that's why I'm sympathetic to them. I'm way more sympathetic to the Palestinians, than I am to the Israeli people, because I think that for the most part, Israeli people are safe. For the most part, overwhelmingly, Israeli people are safe. Like, Palestinian people are not safe. Excuse me. Oh my God. Do we have any non-old school politicians in our geriocracy? There are some. There are some older, cool people in the politics, but yeah, I mean, not that many, I don't think. I'm thinking about chomping on an apple annoyingly for a few minutes. Maybe we should like respond to a video and I can mute myself while I eat an apple. Because I just need a little snacky snack. It's crazy how I love that everybody who's coming in is dropping a like before they leave, but it is crazy seeing like only 34 concurrent viewers but 57 likes. Apple ASMR. Yeah, but people don't like the sound of eating. They really don't. The veto powers are left over from World War II, which is the same reason that Russia has had power in the UN before. What? Yeah, apples are delicious. I have not eaten my one apple for today. I don't know why. I just don't get that hungry in the morning, or I get painfully hungry and then I don't want to eat it. Gotta get ready to talk about Anna Kasparian. We will talk about Anna Kasparian in a minute. I saw a TikTok of an Israeli woman justifying the genocide by saying it was so scary that she couldn't leave her house, and then she was stitched by a Palestinian woman saying, "My home got blown up." Right. Like, this is the difference. People are like, oh, I'm gonna claim that I'm scared to go outside. I'm gonna claim that. And like, but I still feel some sense of safety in my home. And then like compared to these people who like had to flee their homes because there were bombs being dropped on them. Love ASMR, hate mukbang. Hate mukbang. Yeah, you are what you eat, Lux. Eat some fruit. I know I'm a flaming F word. I know it. I know I have the T-slur voice, okay? Gosh. Anyway. Probably gonna get talking about Anna here in a minute. But listen, I'm taking my time in this stream because I want it to last a while. Like, I'm planning on going for at least the usual 3 hours, if not something closer to like 4 hours, just because, you know, I wanna start streaming for longer. I gotta be out here. I gotta hustle, okay? I gotta hustle. I gotta say, listen, do you like this content? It's fucking free, and it always has been, and it always will be. So you can shoot me $5, and that would be really great. That would be amazing. Eat a peach, sweaty. I have jarred peaches. I don't have like a piece. The fuck is the T-slur voice? It's the boy voice. It's the fact that my voice is deep, but I'm talking all nasally and weird and stupid. Video keeps buffering for me. Yeah, Jade, apparently Vosh is having an issue on his stream as well. So it's not just you, it's like the whole platform is being dumb and weird. My little sibling, who I am taking legal guardianship of, has been asking me to start on voice training with them. So there is a possibility that I will just start talking more in a cisgender manner because I'm teaching someone how to do it. Like, I might just, and like, it's gonna, because basically I'm gonna be voice training at the same time. So I just think that's kind of funny. But yeah, I definitely need to like get a quick snicky snack. So I'm just gonna run and grab the apple and like rinse it off real quick, and I'm gonna refill my water and I'll be back. Why don't you get a snack or a water if you need one, okay? And then, you know, we'll kind of chill for another minute, and then we'll start talking about Anna Kasparian. All right? We'll talk about fucking Anna Kasparian. We'll do it. Don't go anywhere. You're not allowed. Okay, I'm back. Is there something we can react to that I can mostly just be quiet during? Like, is that a thing that we can do? I guess, like, responding to my own videos is a thing that we can always do. I've been practicing my voice lately. Long road to hoe, because I'm starting from a true base. Fair enough. There are some great T-voice coaches online. Great even if you aren't using it for anything. Are there really? I've only ever seen, like, trans femmes talking about voice training. I basically had to just figure out some things retroactively. Careful, legal gonna call you out for reacting on mute. I mean, technically speaking, I can always react to a Hassan Abi video because it's always parody. Like, I'm always gonna be doing that for the joke. It's really short, but I found more slappy raw chicken cats. Okay. Are we gonna react to a... What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about furless cats getting in slapping fights. Okay, I understand now. I understand what's happening. Cease and desist. Pause. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself and start eating this apple. Or did that not work? Where's my mute? No! That was not a very long cat fight. It didn't last for very long. I managed to minimize both of my chats by accident. GG's. Trans voice training on YouTube was a godsend for me with training. Okay. Trans voice lessons. Apple prawn. They smacked each other so hard I felt it all the way here. Whap, whap, whap. Did you ever get to reacting to Philosophy Mommy? I mean, I think that what we decided was that when that me reacting to someone who I already know I agree with is, like, not nearly as fun of a stream. I don't know. I mean, do we really want to see me reacting to Philosophy Mommy? Like, it's not, I don't know. I guess it's up to you guys whether you find that interesting or not. That fight was meh. Right. Nah? I've never heard of that person. Are you talking about... It's Philosophy Tube. I know you can hear me chewing. It's too bad. Too bad. But yes, hello, Emily. What's up? We just call her Philosophy Mommy because she's, like... She's at that place in her transition. Dragon ate that apple. True. My stream went bananas for a second. Yeah, YouTube is having all kinds of issues. I didn't know Abigail was called Philosophy Mommy. I don't think she is. Outside of this community. That's who she is to us. And I don't know if she would be okay with that. Yeah, it's a YouTube issue. Yeah, I do think that it's kind of like a mostly just us, and I don't know if she would be okay with that or not. But that's what we call her, so... I'm sorry, Abby, if you don't like being called Philosophy Mommy. That's who you are to us. You teach us the philosophy, and you are Mommy. I don't know what to tell you. Definitely a YouTube problem. We should try to include fruit in every comment for the day, just saying. What do you mean in every comment for the day? Like, should I just wait to eat this apple and there should be a bit of apple eating in every one of these segments today? Oh, hours ago. A few hours ago. Too bad. I'm eating on stream. I know people don't like it. It doesn't matter.
Channels.
What's going on over here?
Oh yeah, Top Luxury. Okay, yeah, this channel exists to literally just like launder and jerk off like mega projects. It looks like. That's cool.
What's Vosh doing right now?
The biggest mega projects in the world. Dubai's $30 billion mega projects. Nice, nice, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas's Megasphere. Nice, nice, nice. Okay.
Now, updates regarding its current progress are difficult to find. So what exactly has been going on? And how much, if any, have they already built?
Wait. If any information on its progress is difficult to find, that means there hasn't been any progress. Saudi Arabia would be screaming from the rooftops about any work they actually did breaking ground in this project. Like, they would let people know. Nah, fuck this, dude.
Now I'm fixing my camera.
Video. Not even. What's this other video? They dug a hole? They dug a hole! They dug a hole! They dug the hole for the line. Why I disagree with Jordan Peterson's dating advice. When the fuck did this one get added to the queue?
Jordan Peterson is wrong sometimes, and this happens to
Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this one, lads.
be one of those times for sure. He is a very smart guy. Even a
Can't do it. Wait, I need to pace myself today, okay? Fucking...
Can't do it, lads. I don't know what we're talking about today. I was just like, okay, maybe this will fill the time a little bit while I eat this apple. Mama, are you not the mommy for the Horties? I don't know. I mean, I feel like Philosophy Mommy is so iconic. You can't help how iconic she is, you know? Have you talked about Anna yet? No, we're gonna get into it in a minute. I'm working my way toward it. I just needed a little snack. I needed a little boost. Okay. Honestly, apples don't sound bad when chewing. Most fruits are okay. It's other fruits that sound off. Yeah, so I've just kind of like recently gotten into it. This is a Fuji apple. I usually eat Gala apples because Gala are the ones that are least expensive. And this time there were like several apples that were all the same amount of inexpensive. So I was like, oh, I want to try these other apples and see if I actually like them better. And I don't really, between Pink Ladies, Fuji's, and Galas, they're all pretty good. They're all pretty sweet. They're all pretty good. It depends on what apple you get, Ramya. Like if I got a Granny Smith apple, that's like a bright green apple. It's going to be more sour. The kind of reddish ones are a little sweeter. So I'm sure that maybe some of them are a little bit more sour. I've always been a Granny Smith person. Yeah, I've just been really enjoying the kind of complexity of these sweeter ones. So yeah, I'm on Gala apples. Hit the like button if you're enjoying listening to us talk about Gala apples. I wonder if we can get to 69 likes today. Can we do it? Can we get to 69 likes today? I see getting all up in here. It didn't even peak red. I need to fix my fucking microphone settings. Everything on my computer is being all janky today. Oh my god, Mama, sometimes I just eat a lemon or a lime straight up. I would not do that. I put lemon in my water frequently, but I'm not gonna eat a lemon or a lime straight up. Like, I can feel the like enamel eroding off my teeth just imagining doing that. I'm more of a red delicious person. Yo, there's like 42 people in here right now. Hit the like button. We're about to talk about Anna here in a minute. I'm making my way through this apple. Ooh. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm homebound. No, 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 no. You talking right into the mic is super funny to me. I mean, it's supposed to be funny, so I'm glad that it's working. Kelsey getting in on the song with me. Okay. Oh, did anybody see me on the Transatlantic Call-In show last week? This past week? If you don't know what it is, it's like a call-in show. Kind of like the Atheist Experience, if you've ever seen the Atheist Experience. But it's like 2 trans people call in on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Central Time, and you can like ask trans people questions and like talk about divisive issues with us. And it's a lot of fun. And I'm going to be on it again on November 30th. I'm looking forward to it. Because I think next time I'm going to be on with someone else. Every time I've gone on, it's been with Arden Hart, and I love her. But it would be a lot of fun to go on and either talk with Katie Montgomery or Dr. Ben. Could be a fun time. I'm going to have a lemon now. I have some dehydrated lemon powder that I've started using to flavor my water, and it's amazing. I meant to listen to this Takis stream on a hike, but I couldn't fall asleep until literally 8 a.m. today, so I'm not going for a hike. You were awesome on Takis. Thank you! I didn't finish the episode, but I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad that you all have seen it. That's amazing. Every time I hear this song, I think of that scene from White Chicks. True. But yeah, it was a good time. What if we just played some of that for like 2 minutes? Okay, here's the most recent one. Beep. Being trans is for you. Oh my god, the sound quality is like always super weird on this. Like every time I'm like, why does my microphone sound this way? I'm going to a Halloween party at the BDSM club tonight, and I think I'm going to challenge people to arm wrestles, and if they can win, they get to feel my tits. That's a good prize. Delicious. Yeah, YouTube really doesn't want to load right now. It's being very, very obnoxious.
Us remember acting out if we were men, if we were guys or non-cis guys, but had the...
This is a fun show to be on. To make that statement, because there's like, I'm just trying to finish this apple right now.
Wording on this poll sucks. Obviously, it's not the exact same because I'm voting for different people. Hear me out. In the wake of Joe Biden's lackluster, and that is me being as generous as possible, response to the Israel-Palestine conflict, playing defense, you know, for Israel in a lot of ways, I've seen a lot of people saying that they are no longer going to vote, or they're not going to vote for Joe Biden, and that voting for Biden and voting for Trump is the exact same thing. And Lux and I were talking about this before.
It's a giant apple. I got it at the grocery store. It's a normal grocery store apple. I only buy big apples.
And Lux pointed out that some people might live in a state where their vote actually doesn't really matter. And if they don't vote for Trump or they don't vote for Biden, it actually doesn't have much of an impact. And in which case I would say, okay, that's fair, but you have a very particularly unique situation where your protest kind of doesn't have an impact on people. But if we're going to pretend that a Trump presidency and a Joe Biden presidency are exactly the same because they would both support Israel in this conflict, I'm sorry, but there are other things going on in the world as well that are also important. Not that this isn't an important issue, not that this isn't an issue that's kind of rightly dominating the news and probably more important than anything we're going to talk about today. But my point is, there's a 4-year term of presidency where a lot of bills get passed and where a lot of lives are affected, where tax codes are changed, where healthcare systems are changed.
Arden is a big time liberal, by the way. I'm done with the apple now. It's in the trash. Okay. Yeah, American apples are bred, I think, to be disproportionately huge. So anyway, I just wanted to share, like, that's some of the conversation that we had on the line this week. It was a fun time. You should go watch it and hit the like button and stuff. I'm going to a Halloween party at the BDSM club tonight, and I think I'm going to challenge people to arm wrestles. Oh, yeah, you said that already. Oh, yeah, I kind of just didn't clock the part of the sentence where it was like BDSM party. I was not paying any attention to that part. That was my bad. Oh my god, excuse me. Holy god. Okay. So I guess it's time for us to start talking about Anna Kasparian now. Let's do it. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Ooh, we're so close to getting 69 likes on the video, guys, okay? 69 likes on the video. And listen, you know what's another thing that you can do? Subscribe and hit the bell. No. I'm sure most of you are already subscribed. Okay. My face is kind of sticky from the apple now. Oh, gosh. I feel like I just look so darn cute. I feel like I'm just so heckin' cute. I'm just such a heckin' cutie, guys. I'm just such a heckin' cutie, okay? I can't even stop myself. I'm just such a heckin' cutie. Too adorable. Bring on the Anna Troll. Yeah, let's do it. Sam Cedar described it saying you aren't voting for Biden alone. You're voting for an entire network of appointees and officials and even relationships between people in power, and Biden's is substantially better than Trump's. Right, I'm not going to say that you should vote for Trump over Biden. You know, my argument is basically just like, I live in Kansas. It does not matter if I vote for Biden, and I don't want to, so I probably won't. And, like, I understand why so many people are disillusioned by it. I still think it's important if you live in a place where your vote actually does matter. Like, if you live in a blue state or a purple state, then sure. Go ahead and vote for fucking Biden. What is this autogynephilia theory that TERFs are throwing around? Oh my god, do we need to derail for a second and talk about... Okay, it doesn't need to be a long derail. First of all, ContraPoints has an entire very long video about it that would go into more detail, okay? But autogynephilia is the idea that trans women are only trans women because they're sexually attracted either to themselves as they're attracted to the idea of them being a woman, or they're attracted to men and they become women as a sexual strategy to be more desirable or something. But, like, if you apply the same standards of, like, person is turned on by their own body in a sexual context, then, yeah, a lot of cisgender women also have autogynephilia. So it's just a very debunked theory. By the way, Anna has recently been known for saying transphobic stuff, so trigger warning for everyone. Duh! That's the whole fucking thing. Yeah. Did you know that apples were bred to be the way they are? In nature, they're like rocks. It makes no sense to portray the apple in the Garden of Eden. Apple facts. Ooh, that's a neat apple fact. I do know that wild apples are, like, small and hard and very tart. So, listen, we're gonna start talking about... Look I'm gonna put her on screen. Look, she's on screen now. So that when people come in and they see, this is... Yeah, we're about to talk about this. Look at her. I'll put her on the screen so that you can be prepared. My show is struggling lately. Like, the last couple streams it's been hard to keep people in here. I'm just not as interesting anymore. I'm just not as entertaining. I'm not as heckin' cute, Areno. Can you use like the fact that you have cleavage to increase your viewers? Is this how women do? Should I just become a gender person so that I can make more money? I don't know, man. It's also a stupid theory, like, I'm bisexual, so according to Blanchard, I just don't exist. Right, because in Blanchard's theory, it's like there's women who are, like, attractive and sexually appealing, and they are attracted to men. And then there's trans women who are, like, frumpy and are attracted to women and suck, according to Blanchard, basically. I'm sure people find you interesting. It's probably too much stuff going on this month, and Halloween is coming up too. Right. I mean, I think a part of it too is that I took some time off, and so the stream is not being recommended to people. Anyway, oh my god, I'm just taking the earbuds apart now by accident. Did not mean to do that. If anything, it's YouTube's fault. Yeah, but I'm still gonna internalize it anyway. You know what I mean? Ooh, we're close to 69 likes. We're so close to 69 likes. I feel like any decent stream of mine should get at least 69 likes, you know? And then, like, our good streams can get, like, 100 likes. That's the goal. I guess the ultimate goal is for every stream to get 100 likes. And then I'll set a new ultimate goal some other time. I think that the fruit alluded to in the Bible was actually a pomegranate. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh my god. The stream is struggling. I hate it. 69 likes and 420 viewers. If I got 420 viewers, I better have at least 300 likes. Come on now. But I would, like, listen, it would be great. Sometimes Demon Mama has, like, 420 viewers. Or maybe that's even a more regular thing for her now. because her show has been growing. But yeah, this is part of why I'm gonna start streaming more, like doing it more, like longer at least. Like I'm gonna start earlier during the week because yeah, I would like to get to a point where like I can take time off and not worry about the fact that I won't be making money. You know, it's like I took time off recently because I kind of had to. And like in order to come back and be able to stream and be even moderately entertaining, I always read that it was dates instead of pomegranates. Oh, okay, interesting. But anyway, is this Blanchard person supposed to be transphobic slash misogynistic? Yeah, I mean, the entire theory is based on the fuckability of trans women. Like the ones who he thinks are attractive are the ones that he tends to label as autogynephilic. Like, if you're a trans woman who has successfully made yourself into a sexually appealing female, then, like, you have a certain, like, psychological disorder, essentially. Like, okay. That's pretty crazy shit. So, anyway, if you're just coming in, hit the like button. Help us to get to 69 likes. We're so very close. We're going to start talking about Anna Kasparian right now. Right now. Right now. We've been talking about Anna Kasparian on and off for a few months now. It seems like she's not going to stop. It seems like once you start down the transphobia pipeline, you just continue going and you don't ever stop. There have been numerous occasions where someone has explained something to her, like friend of the stream, Riverboat Jack, really calmly explained to Anna why her insistence that the term birthing person or related phrases like person who menstruates or person with a uterus, she's claiming that these terms are harmful to women, or at least that she personally doesn't like them, and therefore her personal wishes should be respected on the policy level. Like, again, and always, to be clear, the reason why we use terms like that, like person with a uterus or pregnant person or person who can give birth, is because plenty of women out there can't give birth, but they're still women. And plenty of transgender men, intersex, and non-binary people are not women and can give birth and all those other things. So, you know, people die, like Robert Eads died, if there is not adequate, like, recognition that trans men need this care. You know, trans men will be denied care systematically. And people get really seriously harmed by it. Right, the transphobia, it's like being bitten by a zombie. There's no cure and your brain just rots out your ears. So Anna, she just won't stop. Anna just won't stop. So here we are responding again to her comparing being called a birthing person to, I shit you not, the N-word. Which, to be clear, I'm not going to play the video of the compilation, but they say the N-word on the TYT network all the time. All the time. All the time. All the time. Anyway.
So, to answer your question, you are correct. I do not like to be bullied or pressured into saying things or believing things that I do not believe. I find that terminology...
I guess when she was explaining the reason why this terminology is so important a few years ago, I guess that she was just bullied into it and that she didn't actually believe that. She was just bullied into saying it.
Terminology degrading. Okay? That
why?
Because I'm not a birthing person, okay? I'm a woman.
What's wrong with being called a birthing person?
I don't think she is a birthing person because she's never had any kids. So, like, it doesn't even apply to her anyway.
Well, first of all, not all women even have the capacity to get pregnant. So it's degrading to them to be essentially to have their womanhood questioned if they're not
what a point
if they're unable to have kids.
What are you saying right now? That's the opposite argument. It's like if you insist that a woman is equal to a person who can give birth, then people who can't give birth feel less like a woman. That's the most stupid fucking thing I've ever heard, and she hasn't even gotten to the stupidest part of this video yet. Yeah, resisting the urge to throw my Doc Martens at the screen. That's crazy. Come on, girl. Wow. Wow. Oh my God, girl.
Begin with. But also, I mean, look, this is the thing that annoys me about this entire issue and conversation, because
Oh,
they'll
girl, tell
turn
me the
around and they'll
tea.
say, no one's calling you a birthing person. Okay, does someone need to call an individual who finds the N-word offensive the N-word in order for him or her to find it offensive or degrading? You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
She's saying, yeah, so people will be like, no one is calling you a birthing person. So she's like, oh, okay, so just because nobody's calling me that doesn't mean I can't take offense to it, even though it literally doesn't fucking describe me in any way, shape, or form. Telling me I'm wrong is bullying. Oh my God. 5 seconds in, she's already shot my blood pressure through the roof. Girl, some of us have medical issues. You can't be doing this to people. Oh my God. Oh my God.
No one needs to be called that word to find it problematic or to have an issue with it. And besides which, I was called that, okay? Yes, in a medical setting, but this is a doctor who knows I'm a biological woman. Call me a woman. But I had a conversation with that doctor. Why did you feel the need to call me a birthing person? Like, where did that come from? And in California, medical providers are basically like told that there will be penalties if they don't use the proper terminology or if they're caught doing anything discriminatory toward the trans community. Now, if they're actually doing something discriminatory toward the trans community, I think medical providers absolutely should face consequences.
I think that generally speaking, misgendering is considered a form of harassment. So basically what they're saying is, like, on the policy level, they're going to use, like, on their paperwork and stuff, gender neutral language so that they don't misgender someone, because misgendering someone is a proactive form of harassment. Whereas, like, you know, choosing to refrain from gendered language is not like misgendering and discriminatory in the same way. Like, women do kind of feel like self-conscious about the erasure of women, but this is not that. Yeah, it's weird. This is the weirdest thing. So I guess, like, yeah, I didn't know, and I will, I guess, correct my record, having said before, like, okay, Anna, nobody is calling you a birthing person individually. It's mostly a matter of policy. I don't know if she's lying about this, but like, did the doctor specifically call her a birthing person, or did he say something like, you know, usually a birthing person needs blah, blah, blah? Like, is she pregnant? Has she had kids? Like, why is she even having this discussion? But, like, generally speaking, yeah, it is about how we write policy and we talk about medical access. And it's like, if you were a person about to give birth, then you would be a birthing person, regardless of whether you take issue with that particular phraseology or not. It's not a slur. It's just an accurate description. She's acting like it's a slur. Yeah, she herself has conflated birth person and woman in her own mind and is projecting that onto everyone else. Like, she literally made the stupid, like, the opposite argument, the argument that doesn't make sense. Like, because, yes, one of the reasons why you say birthing person is so that you don't conflate woman equals birthing person or person who can get pregnant or whatever. Because, yeah, it is actually harmful to some women. There are cisgender women who feel like they are lesser as women if they are not able to give their husbands a child, for example. So, yeah, like, she's just making an argument that is only going to exclude and harm people.
But the idea that we should change all of our terminology, even toward women who want to be called women, in order to be inclusive is ridiculous to me. Now, if a transgender person wants to be called that, fantastic. I respect it. I'll do it. I'll engage in it. But I think in the context of my relationship with my doctors, I want to be called a woman.
Okay, then talk about that with your doctors. Oh my God. Yes, have the individual conversation. Sure, you can say, hey, you don't need to use gender neutral language with me. I like having my womanhood affirmed in this way. Like, talk to your doctor about it. Okay. Why are you out here campaigning against it? Like it's a problem widespread. If it's a problem for you personally, then okay. Yes, if your doctor called you a birthing person, then just say, like, yes, I don't personally need you to do that. It's fine if you just refer to this as a woman's visit, a woman's healthcare time, okay? Like, it's not inclusive if cis women hate it. It's literally just emotional for her by admission. Yeah, it's not inclusive if I happen to not like the way that we are talking about this. This is so opposed to, like, I remember watching a video from Sexplanations. Does anybody remember Sexplanations? She's on Nebula now because she can actually post her content on Nebula and not get blacklisted. She posted a video a few years ago about the term bonus hole or front hole. I think it was front hole, because it's like, okay, a lot of trans people want their vagina to be called their front hole instead of their vagina because of the dysphoria of it all, right? And she was like, I felt defensive about that because I had to fight for the right to say vagina. You know, people used to want to censor it. It's censored on television. Like, you know, we had to fight to name our bodies and not feel shamed about that. But she was able to make space for the fact that she loves calling her body parts what she calls them. Like, she's like, this is my vagina. That's cool. And at the same time, as a matter of public policy and medical policy, the way that you approach this with patients might be that you provide some options to refer to the body parts in another way. Like understanding that, you know, you feel this sense of erasure while trans people feel this sense of dysphoria, and you can acknowledge that difference of needs, right? It's okay. If you are a woman and you go to the doctor because you want female reproductive health care stuff, you can say like, hey, yeah, it's not necessary for you to use gender neutral language. In fact, as my doctor, it would make me feel affirmed as a woman in your practice if you would refer to me as a woman, right? In all instances, whatever. Don't ever use gender neutral language for me. Cool. Yeah, sure. There's plenty of transgender women out there who want people to use only feminine language about them and don't want like gender neutral terms used for them because they want to be affirmed. Cool. Yeah. So sure, go for it. But you need to be able to, as a cisgender person, recognize where you're just trying to prioritize your feelings over the need for other people's medical access, right? Because she has not made a clear distinction, I don't think, in any of this rhetoric that she's saying, I personally don't want to be called this, so I had a conversation with my doctor about it, and fine. But she's taking that and now taking and campaigning against the use of this language more broadly. Because she's, I guess, using herself as a placeholder for all women. I guess she's kind of saying, I, as a woman, don't like being called a birthing person. And I talked to a couple of my girlfriends about it, and they all said that they would have disliked that in the medical setting. It's like, yeah, I personally do agree. Calling someone a birthing person to their face is like probably going to be weird in the overwhelming majority of situations, right? Like, I even think as a trans person, I might prefer a different terminology. I would hope that my doctor would be open to having that conversation with me, you know? This whole thing contradicts her own argument too. This is just her pivoting to the right-wing grift. She's the furthest thing from being respectful here. She wants to systematically erase the idea that non-women can give birth. Like, I think that she's trying to say, again, for Anna, it always comes down to okay. And I'm not going to say that this is the fault of trans activism, but I will say that I understand, you know, we tend to have this focus on, I don't want you to call me a woman. I don't want you to call me by this pronoun or that pronoun. So, like, I kind of get it on one level, excuse me, that people who only engage in a surface level understanding of trans issues, which is what Anna does, Anna and the Young Turks, their entire understanding of trans people and transness begins and ends at, you should probably use the right name and pronouns. Like, that's the extent of their allyship. They do not believe beyond that. Like, they do not think beyond that when it comes to trans people. So they don't think, oh, this is an issue of medical access. Or, you know, like, Anna has had it explained to her. I'm pretty sure, again, I mentioned it before, Riverboat Jack responded to her and I think explained, like, this is about trans men and them being harmed, physically harmed, by the lack of medical access. And, like, she just keeps coming back to the same fucking points. And, like, I don't actually know I don't know what this podcast is. Patrick Bet David's PBD podcast. And I don't know what skew this guy has. Like, is this guy a Republican? Like, you know, she has been going on increasingly weird, like, kind of right-wing places and saying this. Like, and this guy did push back on her a little bit. He was like, why? Or why are you uncomfortable with that? Why do you take issue with that? Like, genuinely, I don't know what it would take for her to have a conversation with an actual person who's gonna explain it to her properly. Because it seems like she's just, yeah, she's not interested in having the conversation with someone who's like, yeah, I'll meet you where you are and I'll explain this to you. Like a trans person, for example, like maybe talk to a fucking trans person. Like, I don't know, maybe talk to a trans person who could potentially give birth. I don't know, Anna. I don't know, bro. Or you could just watch the content that we've already made. But it's because it's not about that. It's not about being convinced. It's not about being truthful. It's not about being correct. It's about trying to save her career from drowning at the Young Turks, because she knows that as a left-wing woman, she's not going to make money. Listen, I know it. I know it. As a left-wing trans person, I'm not going to make money. I know that. I know that. If I grifted, I would make way more money. My career would take off. Like, if I went the D-trans route, I could shit-talk the trans community and do all that stuff. And, like, PBD is right-wing. Okay, so she's on a right-wing broadcast. I don't know. He's libertarian. Okay. Just say what you mean and call your hoo-ha the manhole, truly. Like, this is just... It's just really pathetic shit. Although it is funny. Like, it's funny that she compares it to the N-word. She's like, just like someone doesn't have to be called the N-word in order to take a philosophical, in order to acknowledge that it is fundamentally harmful. That's what she's basically saying, is like, she's saying the term birthing person is fundamentally harmful, except if you want to maybe be called that. I guess I can't stop you personally if you want to be called that, if you want to ask your doctor to call you that. I just think that it's fundamentally a thing that we shouldn't say. Oh, Jordan Peterson said on a radio show once that his Patreon blew up with so much money the second conservatives heard his bullshit. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just not as popular. Like, of course women are leftists. And, like, leftism broadly is still fairly misogynistic. So, yeah, you have this issue where women are not taken seriously even in leftist spaces. You know, Anna has become a meme a couple times about, like, you know, popping off about abortion or popping off about the Christmas, war on Christmas bullshit. But, like, she's stagnating at the Young Turks. She does not want to have that conversation because she knows what's true and isn't going to be swayed by that because it's not going to make her any money. The way that she spoke about Hassan, she feels so bitter about not making much, so she's grifting now. She's going the way of Jimmy Dore and Dave Rubin. This is what I'm predicting. I'm predicting that before too long, Anna is going to have a Why I Left the Left video. Or maybe even she's going to take the entire TYT network to where they will no longer say, I am explicitly a centrist or liberal progressive network. Like, they might start actually saying, you know, well, if this is what progressivism is, then, you know, and they're going to position it like, oh, you leftists keep getting more and more radical. Therefore, we are, you know, naturally going to, like, because you are pulling the Overton window so far to the left, that's why we seem right-wing by comparison. So we're just going to go ahead and, like, we might as well call ourselves, like, centrists or conservatives or something. Jank was on the same podcast calling themselves mainstream progressive. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do genuinely believe that their opinions are the common things. Like, they genuinely believe that their opinions represent all people like them. Anna believes that she represents all white women, white cisgender women. Like, Jank believes that he represents all fat, like, I don't know if he's short, actually. Like, all of these, like, chubby, angry, mildly brown men. Like, I guess. I don't know. They're trying to differentiate themselves from other leftists by hedging more liberal/centrist. I guess so. But anyway, you know, that's Anna Kasparian, as usual, doing her thing. And I'm calling it now. She is going to be like, well, if this is what it means to be progressive, then, you know, we're not going to affiliate with that label anymore. Even though most leftists don't call ourselves progressives either. It's so weird how out of touch these people are. It's like, we don't really call ourselves liberals anymore. Liberalism, like a lot of left-wing people don't think that liberalism, like, it's a bad word to a lot of us. Like, you fucking liberal. Anyway, let's drink a little water, babes. Liberal is a dirty word to me. Yeah, to a lot of lefties, it's a dirty word. Look at us. We've been going for 2 hours now. If you want to hit the like button, that would be an awesome contribution for you to make, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Consider throwing me $1 on Patreon, because I can budget around that. And, you know, like, comment, share, subscribe, donate. We are going to move on and talk about some other stuff here in a minute, since we're done with Anna Kasparian. Excuse me. Me when a conservative calls me a liberal. Me when a leftist calls me a liberal. Pepe hands. Excuse me. I feel like... Come on, another burp needs to happen. Detrans grifters are just wanting to have their rent paid. Right, I mean, which you can't blame them for to an extent. Maybe we should talk about the detrans grifters thing next. Okay. Okay. We're going to talk about billionaire funding anti-trans roots soon. If I went on a detrans grift, I would be out of my parents' house. Yeah, they would kick you out. I tried to get rid of the tech gremlin for you, but I failed, Lux. He's still struck today. At this point, it's because I need to replace parts of my computer. Like, at a certain point, it's like, I need new hard drives is, like, one of the main things. I need new hard drives. I need, you know, I'm gonna have to replace my video card before too long. It's fucking expensive, and you have to redo your computer every few years and, like, buy parts periodically. Like, that camera that I was using before was already used before I got it. And then I used it for, like, what was it? It was over a year. It was almost 2 years? Or did I get it right around this time last year? I can't remember how long I had it, but it was working for a while. If I ever go on a detrans grift, I give you permission to shoot me in the head. Fair enough, mama, fair enough. What's up, Ursa? My mother is trying to get me to detransition. Yeah, well, good fucking luck, right? I call myself a progressive democratic socialist. I will gladly educate anyone that wants to ask me, but that rarely happens. Yeah. I just, you know, I don't go into the myopic details when it comes to my identity labels, whether that's political or gender related. I just kind of tend toward calling myself a leftist generally. Just getting off of an Uber shift. High five. You're out there on the hustle. We out here on the grind. High fives. I'm kind of excited for Halloween, although I don't really have any plans. I guess I'm going to work that day. So I guess my plan is I'm going to try to put together a cute outfit of some kind. Like, I'll try to put together a cute outfit for that. I also... no, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to do it. When I have a project idea, I'm not going to tell you guys about it. I need to just do the projects and be like, there's a surprise coming. So actually, there might be a surprise coming in the form of, like, maybe some short-form content on this channel soon. Maybe some short-form content. We're going to talk about billionaires now. Billionaires suck balls. I'm gonna take a bunch of pics in my costume before I go to the party tonight. Hell yeah, girl. I do take pictures. Okay, so here's the reason why I haven't been taking pictures for Fansly much lately. Anybody out there who's disappointed that you haven't seen any thirst traps of me on Fansly lately? It's because my bedroom is a fucking wreck still. I'm still trying to figure out, like, we have a mattress. It's so hard to get rid of mattresses. We have, like, a mattress we're trying to get rid of. And, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to end up, like, taking it somewhere and paying to have it thrown away. Like, I don't know why there isn't just a place for me to take it and be like, here, take this and do something with it. It's trash now. From 1 to 10, how hot is Lux compared to me? I don't think anyone has seen you, Selenophile. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot is Lux in general? I need to get some fucking new chapstick. My chapstick is so destroyed by laundry. Ramya says 10. Score out of 10. Oh, out of 10, 11. Okay, well, that's fair. 42. True. 9.8. I'll take it. 500. Very fun. Very fun. Hello, I am a D-trans grifter, and I am going to trash talk you all and make money spreading transphobic propaganda about how awful transition is. True! I was trying to type 100 out of 10, but the chat goofed. Oops. I am score 100 out of 10. 69, hell yes. So our next goal, if we go on stream long enough today, is to get to 100 likes. Can we get to 100 likes? I was hoping to get stream at a point where we had like 100 viewers on a regular basis, and we did almost get there, but then I had to take fucking time off. That's my bad. Oh, by the way, does anybody know anyone who's trying to get rid of a cello? I have a platform here where I can ask for things, right? Is anybody trying to get rid of a full-size cello? Ideally with at least one bow, and ideally with a case. Because it's hard to get a hold of them. They're expensive. They're expensive. And I want one, like, so fucking badly. So, if anybody knows anybody who's trying to get rid of a cello, I'm gonna make treats for the people at the job I just quit. Left on good terms. Nice. Over 9,000! Yes, I agree. My power level is just too high. Does Chloe Cole stay in fancy hotels when she travels? Well, we might get to see in this article that we're about to read whether she stays in fancy hotels. Have you checked Facebook Marketplace? So here's the deal on Facebook Marketplace. A cello that doesn't have any cracks that have been repaired, like a cello that's been moderately used with superficial damage on Facebook Marketplace with a bow and a case is $600. You can get one that has had cracks refurbished for like $450, but I do not have $600 is the problem. I do have enough credit that if I were buying it from a store, I could use a credit card. But no, I do not have the money required for a cello at this time, despite the fact that I have wanted one badly for numerous years. Mattresses go in suburban dumpsters. True. What about like a local buy-sell music store? Yeah, I looked into it a little bit. They're even more expensive at the music store. They're like at minimum $1,000. So, oh God, I'm just losing my mind right now. I keep playing my partner's violin in an attempt to satiate my desire to play a cello. Uh-oh, you've contained too much nonsense. I'm gonna unmute Mersh. Yeah, sorry about that. The link apparently contained too much nonsense. Yeah, no, it's good. I fixed it. Oh, wow. That's a $115 cello with case, bow, rosin. Really? 4 stars, only 30 ratings. What is this made out of? Spruce, maple, basswood. Okay. I mean, one of these is really pretty. This is a full-size cello. Oh yeah, no, yeah, it only costs $116, but it's like $90 delivery. Or this one that costs $136 has a $70 delivery. Boy howdy. I guess I could put that on my Amazon. I guess I'm gonna put it on my Amazon wish list. Which one am I gonna put it on? I guess I'll put it on that one. There, it's on one of my wish lists now. All right, fair enough. I need to be muted. I talk too much. No, you're good, Darkly. I ran out of hot dog buns, so I'm gonna eat hot dogs on a hamburger bun. Delicious. Maybe eBay then? Yeah, I didn't know that I could go on Amazon and just find a cello for less than $200. Still less than $200, but... Is it Wish? Yeah, there you go. I think it's the main wish list that I put it on there. Yeah. Oh, and this doesn't need to be on there anymore. The camera doesn't need to be on there anymore. Okay. It's on my wish list now. If we all pitched in like $3, would that be enough to get Lux a Christmas cello? Oh, God. That would be amazing. I got my PS5, and I'm so addicted to it, and today I just received my PC with the RTX 4060 Ti and gaming laptop with the RTX 4070. Holy fucking God. Yes, don't you tend to get what you pay for with instruments? Yeah, that's the thing about, yes, the $100 instrument off of Amazon is probably not going to be a quality instrument, but it's going to be an instrument. Listen, my partner wanted a hurdy-gurdy. Do you know what a hurdy-gurdy is? Do you want to know what a hurdy-gurdy is? It's not an instrument that most people are familiar with. Yeah, it's not an instrument that most people know about. So it's kind of like a violin, except that instead of a bow, you have this spinning wheel, and you rosin up the spinning wheel. It comes in contact with the metal strings. You're using this turn crank to turn the wheel, and then there's these buttons over here. So instead of placing your fingers on the fretboard, you just press the buttons, and then it makes sound. So this is a hurdy-gurdy, and my partner wanted a hurdy-gurdy, but it turns out that the least expensive hurdy-gurdies that you can find are like $1,200. So consequentially, my partner purchased a puzzle. It's like plywood, or not, I think it's plywood. It's plywood, and it's laser cut, and you like poke the parts out, and then you build it like a puzzle, or like a Lego set where it has like instructions page by page, and you build it, and then it has like fucking fishing line, not a real string, but rather fishing line. And so my partner now has like the world's shittiest hurdy-gurdy. Like, it sounds awful. Because it's got fishing line on it, and it's like a tiny little, it's like this big, the whole thing is like this big, whereas you can see this hurdy-gurdy, like, you know, it's like, he's fitting it under his arm, like this. So yeah, hurdy-gurdy, big motherfucker. So yeah, I'm saying, like, I'm willing to have a shitty version of a cello as long as it means I get to have a cello. I wanted one for like 10 years, genuinely. It takes me 10 years to finally start looking into buying something that I want. Music gear in general, you get what you pay for. I know folks who've spent thousands of dollars on preamps. Yeah, of course. So, right, yeah. I'm saying, you know, it's not gonna be the best. You know, my $150 regular keyboard, like non-weighted keys keyboard, was like not the best, but it was better than nothing. I practiced on it for a year, like most days for a year, and it was like, it helped me learn a lot of the basics. Now, obviously, my finger strength needs to develop now that I'm playing piano on a weighted keyboard, but, you know, I've been playing a red trumpet from Amazon for 10 plus years. The only thing with Amazon string instruments is it might need some extra TLC to actually get it sounding nice, and it will need assembly. It needs assembly? Are you for real right now? Does it require assembly? I guess it would, but why would it have $90 shipping if it requires assembly? The acoustic cello is composed of maple spruce top, basswood neck, back and sides, and solid wood fingerboard and pegs. Blah, blah, blah. It does not suggest that it needs to be put together in the instructions. It kind of seems like it just... And the pictures are showing that it kind of just... Stay away, only good for decoration. This thing is not playable. The bow it comes with is useless. I could only get it to play using my violin bow. Poor quality frog. Not enough string height to allow seamless pass-through from string to string. Save up and buy a real cello. Can't even practice on this. That's the only one with images. The other reviews seem like it's okay. Anyway, yeah, sometimes having a thing is just nice to have. I've been wanting a hurdy-gurdy for years. They're so expensive. Assembly not included. So yeah, now it's on the list. Maybe I will end up with a cello. Oh gosh. Okay, we got to talk about this billionaire dude. I might just like run to the restroom really fast and like just do that really quick, and maybe we'll play a little Hassan while we're gone, because that's, again, I think it's always permissible. You know what? This is what Hassan has done. Hassan has created a situation where it is always permissible to put on a Hassan Abi video and then leave. Like, it is always morally justified and legally justified. Like, it is always a good idea to do that, basically, because it's always fair use parody. It's always going to be parody. If I walk away and leave it here, like every single time, it is to make fun of Hassan for doing that. I also want a 12-string acoustic guitar made by Taylor. $3,500 is what those typically start at. Ooh, 12-string guitars. Yeah. Yikes. Music conversation is not highly stimulating to the chat. That's okay, though. No worries. Also, I guess I realized that people might be leaving because there's ad placement happening. Because I have YouTube doing automatic ad placement every 30 minutes, or it's supposed to be roughly every 30 minutes, depending on like when the person arrived, I think. Instruments are so expensive. I've paid rent a few times with guitars, and I don't know how to play still. Just trading your guitars for a month of rent. I played trombone in middle school. That's the extent of my musical experience. I don't think I'm strong enough to play a brass instrument. And by strong enough, I mean, I don't think I can emotionally deal with the spit involved with playing an instrument like that. On the topic of why some people may not be tuning in, at least for me, I tried joining a few streams ago and it was getting shut down by copyright or whatever. Okay, sure. One time I get copyright. It's literally never happened on my stream before. One time. That's not going to dissuade people from clicking in. What about a woodwind? I can play... Well, what do you mean by woodwind? I just tried to buy the cello for you, but Amazon will not deliver it as a gift. Well, don't send me $200, because if you send me $200, I'm not going to buy the cello. I'm just going to keep the money and spend it on food. Oh, God. Yeah, I can play ocarina. Like, I play ocarina. I would have to figure out how to play flute. Clarinet, I could probably figure it out. Yeah, and I've played recorder before, of course. But, yeah, I don't know. I've played ocarina. That's, like, the main wind instrument that I've played. I get a huge sign of regression from these gender-critical TERFs. If they had it their way, they would take us back to the Red Dead Redemption times. Maybe. They're like, yeah, I'm just going to take trans people out with a firing squad. Recorder gang. Recorder gang. I'm sure I played a recorder when I was a kid, but yeah, I feel like I may have owned one at one point. I wonder if my mom, like, just threw it away or something. I play the clarinet, and a good clarinet is $400 to $600. Yeah, right. It's interesting, those big bulk items, especially bulk items that you don't buy from Amazon. It's like, I wonder if there is a cello that you buy from Amazon instead of from like a third-party seller, because it's like, I think it's because they can't share the shipping info with the third-party seller, and that's why you can't buy things as a gift. So yeah, that's usually an issue. Cheaper clarinets will work, but you'll have sticky keys. Sticky keys sound so great. Amazing. So good. I primarily play the washboard and drum bucket. Listen, we love our percussion friends. We love our percussive siblings. All the woodwinds can be really tricky because the keys can be really bad at not sealing or sticking down. Cheaper brass is really the only decent instrument. Fair enough. I think Luxander is hot AF, TBH. Listen. Listen, and I'm not even trying. Listen, listen, if we get $20 more in donations, I will take off my hoodie. How about that? And then you can see what am I wearing? It's a tank top. The tank top that I'm wearing. I did try, would be happy to get you the cello for 200. It's like, if you send me $200, I should immediately buy the cello because that's what you sent it to me for. But I also have like only $50 right now, and I'm trying to make money on stream. I'm gonna get paid on Patreon soon. I know the entire lyrics to Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Does that count as playing an instrument? Your voice is an instrument, my beauties. Okay? I like the hoodie. It looks so cool. Thank you. It is a Unus Annus hoodie. Unus Annus. You can see it says... oh, wait. I guess you can't read it that way. Okay, this side says Unus Annus. And this side says Memento Mori. Which is also what my tattoo says. What if I bit you? I am unfortunately only biteable by one person. I only have one person can bite me, and that's the person that I'm married to. Other biting is not allowed. Lemon Demon in the house. Truly. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes today. If you haven't hit like, try it out. I don't know why some trans people are also siding with conservatives and TERFs such as Blair White and Buck Angel. Because they want to make money. I feel like it's fairly straightforward. Yeah, exactly. You hear that, zombies? Lux is off limits. No zombies. No biting. Not allowed. None. 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 Yeah, the hoodie is for coziness also. It's definitely a cozy time. Yeah, see, even on Amazon, a lot, like, I don't know how you manage to find a cello that inexpensive on Amazon. I liked something once. It was awful. But yeah, this is just me. This is just what I've been craving lately. I've just been craving the sweet, dulcet tones. Just the sweet, dulcet tones of the cell. The cell. Look at this big boy. Look at that big boy. Chunky. Chunky man. Chunky. Yep. My latest obsession. I've seen Buck Angel on his stream get pissed off and said, I refuse to let children be put into a manipulative space because you adults think you know better. Oh my god. He's just such a screeching, annoying person. He does have a terrible voice, too. Okay, so I'm going to use the restroom, and when I get back, we are going to discuss this billionaire hedge fund quietly financing anti-trans advocacy across the U.S. from the Huffington Post. HuffPo. HuffPo, HuffPo, HuffPo. Look I can make this so big. I can make the text so big you can't even believe. You can't even believe how big this text is. You talking about the human or the instrument? Oh, I was talking about the instrument. Big boy instrument. I played violin and viola when I was younger, so a cello is like, that's a big boy. A deep emotional vibration straight at the crotch. Well, they're technically going out of the crotch, forward away from the crotch. Buck came down with white man syndrome a long time ago. True. Yuck Angel. Yeah, he's such a dork. You have the prettiest eyes. Thank you. Would you like to touch them? Okay. I'm gonna click on this Hassan video because it says Christian Facist in the thumbnail. So enjoy, have fun with him.
Let's get
while
into
I'm
Mike
gone.
Johnson.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Let's talk about Mike Johnson. Okay,
America
Mr.
has
Johnson.
a new House Speaker. Louisiana
Insane moment. here.
Congressman Mike Johnson was sworn in yesterday after 3 weeks of the U.S. House of Representatives being left in limbo without an official leader. But Johnson may have his work cut out for him, unifying a fractured Republican Party that ousted the former Speaker and rejected 3 nominees for the top job.
Johnson has previously opposed more U.S. aid for Ukraine, an issue that fiercely divides Republicans. Johnson has opposed abortion rights and supports a nationwide abortion ban without exceptions. And last month, he voted against a deal cut with Democrats to keep the government open. Now, Johnson faces a November 17th deadline to again avoid a shutdown.
I love this guy. He's so cool, man. He is insane, dog. Why did Dems vote for this guy but voted to oust McCarthy? What do you mean voted for this guy? You mean why did the Republicans vote for this guy? Why would a Democrat vote for this guy? They didn't. They don't need Democrat votes to win, to become the speaker. They need at least, they need near unanimous votes from all Republicans. Specifically, I think like the amount of votes they can lose from Republicans right now is 4, and they got it. What's wild is like they were like, Jim Jordan is a pervert and did not investigate rapes that were happening under his watch. Like it was happening literally right around him, all around him, and he's a bad guy, and he's also a Freedom Caucus guy. But then they're like, but this guy who he's mentored, he's fine. Like all of the moderates that claimed that they did not want Jim Jordan because like he's too much of an extremist, literally turned around and voted for this guy who is also an extremist. If you think Jim Jordan is like single-handedly the only responsible party for like the January 6th stuff, well, this guy was right alongside him the entire way. So it makes no sense. I guess they just were like, and he's also like a real zealot too. Jim Jordan is a freak. Okay, he's a wrestling guy. That's one thing. This guy who doesn't have the same name recognition that Jim Jordan has, or at least like the same long commitment to like being an obstructionist in the Freedom Party, in the Freedom Caucus, the Tea Party caucus in Congress, still very much is an unadulterated freak, an absolute freak, dude. He is a real Mike Pence style podcaster / Christian fascist. He also was one of the people that tried to change the results.
I don't know. I don't know why that would be, but yeah. It's people are like, I need, it actually shows on the back end, and I'm sure you're familiar with this. Well, I don't actually know if you stream on YouTube at all, or if it's only on Twitch. You didn't post when you started? Wait. Oh, in the stream chat? Or like on my Discord server? Yeah, did I forget to do it? Yeah, I wish that there was some way to do it automatically, but I don't think that there is an automatic one. But yeah, people figured it out, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I don't want to think about it right now. This is not the moment for me to try to troubleshoot this. I fucking hate dealing with bots. Oh my god. Hassan got up and left during the video while you were up. No! Did he really? In the first 2 minutes of this, he already got up and walked away? What? Dude, that's too funny. That's too funny. Oh my god, yeah, I can see it right at the beginning. The video is just playing and he's not even in there. Oh my god, no. Reactception. Lux has a good face in general. Oh, thank you. Chairception. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. That's the one thing. Oh, yeah, I forgot that. We do need to do an emergency little tiny Mike Johnson section real quick because, hold on. We're gonna have to do a little tiny Mike Johnson section for a second here because his wife is into fucking conversion therapy. Like, that's what she does for her job, I guess, and I didn't know that. I just found that out. Mike Johnson is the new Speaker of the House of Representatives. He is a Republican representative from Louisiana, and he's the worst, and you should definitely know who he is. You should go back and watch our last stream, or the video will probably come out this week. I'm going to try to bust my ass and get some editing done, maybe even later tonight, and publish some videos this week. But no, you should know who he is, and we need to do a little update, because his wife is also a terrible person, apparently. Okay, I didn't save any links about this. Hold on, let me find something. Mike Johnson wife? The devil we don't know, who is the same guy as now the speaker. Yeah, right, it's crazy. Okay, hold on. Mike Johnson, his wife is... Hold on. Is this another HuffPo? Okay. It's a different day. I think I'm wearing the same outfit, but it's a different day right now. We have to talk really quick about this, just to add on to this earlier. You remember earlier in this video that is the recording, but not this video that is the live stream for those people who are here right now? But we were talking about Mike Johnson, and he was like, oh, my wife has been busy the last couple weeks. She's been on her knees in prayer. She's tired or something. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Where is she? What is she doing? We've discovered the answer, I guess, to the question of what does Mike Johnson's wife do with her time. She is a conversion therapist. She runs a counseling service which compares being gay to bestiality and incest. The newly elected Republican House Speaker and his wife Kelly have long intertwined their personal and business lives. So, oh my God, please go away. I don't want this. The wife of newly elected House Speaker Mike Johnson runs a counseling business that advocates the belief that homosexuality is comparable to bestiality and incest, according to its operating documents. So it's like they're very anti-gay. Like, this isn't even like conversion therapy for gender. This is conversion therapy for homosexuality. I'm reading. Hold on. Johnson said last year, quote, "We have been working in ministry side by side and together for our whole marriage," as he and his wife launched their podcast on a website that connects members of the Louisiana Southern Baptist community. The House Speaker's identity as an evangelical Christian has been a driving force in his personal life and career, including 8 years as the senior attorney and national spokesperson for blah, blah, blah. And we know that. What does his wife do? Kelly Johnson features the couple's podcast on the website of her company, Onward Christian Counseling Services, which promotes Bible-based pastoral counseling. Her website also includes a link to the 2017 operating agreement, which lays out the corporate bylaws for the company and embraces a number of socially conservative beliefs about LGBTQ+ people and women's reproductive rights. The agreement states that Onward Christian Counseling Services is grounded in the belief that sex is offensive to God if it is not between a man and a woman married to each other. It puts being gay, bisexual, or transgender in the same category as someone who has sex with animals or family members, calling all of these examples of, quote, sexual immorality. So I just wanted to add that on and let the, like, okay, now we're done with that. I don't know what I'm going to say next in the video because I said that, like, Thursday. So, bye. We need to talk. I think you might be gay. Oh, no. Is there just a fountain of punchable idiots that Republicans use to get their people? I don't know. I really don't know what the deal is with them. All the good Christians said nothing. I don't know, man. Like, I just think that Mike Johnson is a very affable dude. Like, people like him fairly well, so it's going to be hard to oust him in any meaningful manner. Like, even if he says the most atrocious fucking things, like, honestly, Mike Johnson might be like one of the scarier moves that the Republican Party has made. I don't know, man. Are you aware of the letter that Buck Angel signed along with 4 other transgender men? The letter is called Trans Men Fight Back, hosted by, quote, Gender Dysphoria Alliance and, quote, Trans Educational Voices. No, well, maybe. I feel like I may have heard about this, but I can't specifically recall, because, I don't know, I don't really think about Buck Angel that much, if I'm being completely honest. This dude is going to be speaker during the election season. Right, yeah, I don't think this is going to be a good time. Yeah, we don't like Buck Angel here. He's not my favorite person. Water's delicious. Okay, the Republicans are Christo-fascists. Well, yeah, they're Christian fascists. They're white supremacist in nature, you know. Pretty radical evangelical bullshit, truly. But we know that, you know, it's not like we're saying new things. We're saying true things, but we're not saying new things. Oh, gosh. Fucking Mike Johnson. Okay, let's get rid of this. We don't need this open anymore. Okay. So we have I have 2 more articles that I want to go over before the end of today's stream. We've been going for almost 3 hours. We're chilling, we're vibing, we're moving through. If you have not hit like yet, consider doing that because it's quick and it's easy and it's free. Republicanism really do need to be eradicated from public life. It doesn't need to be part of public life anymore. If you want to be a Republican in private, that's fine. But, you know, I just think that you really shouldn't leave the house very much. You know? Whatever. Oh, geez. So I guess we might as well look at this article. Let's see. I haven't actually read it yet. I'm kind of glancing through real quick. And then we're going to drink some water. Yes. Oh, gosh. Miss Seaside, are you going to tell me what the letter was about? You mentioned this letter in the chat, and I wasn't sure if you were going to elaborate on what it is actually about, because I don't think I had heard about it. Something about Buck Angel signing a letter. Okay, so I think we've been saying for a while that it's pretty obvious that there has to be someone like bankrolling the whole anti-trans people, like testifying at all these different places across the country, you know? Like, how is it that Chloe Cole, a 19-year-old person, is being flown around the country? Like, how can she afford all these tickets? You know, who is paying for these hotel rooms, et cetera, et cetera? So this seems like we finally have our answer on this very recently posted article. Billionaire hedge fund quietly financing anti-trans advocacy across the U.S. So it seemed clear to me for a while that someone out there is bankrolling this, and the guy's name is Joseph Edelman. He is not known generally for donating to conservative causes, but HuffPost has uncovered major donations to groups opposing trans rights specifically. He is a hedge fund CEO and billionaire biotech investor. His wife provided a $1 million donation to help launch this organization called Do No Harm, which is a very misleadingly named conservative advocacy group which pushes anti-trans legislation all across the country. Do No Harm sells itself as a group of doctors who are concerned about, quote, ideology influencing the medical profession. This organization has not disclosed its donors or fundraising, but tax filings for the Edelman Family Foundation, which Edelman founded, blah, 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 show that the foundation approved a $1 million donation to Do No Harm in 2022, the same year that the group was founded. So Do No Harm, what do? You know, we're wondering what it is that they actually do. They hire lobbyists or they send advocates to at least a half a dozen state houses. They've provided the model language for at least 2 bills restricting gender-affirming care, which have then become law. The group has also filed a handful of lawsuits against efforts to promote diversity in medicine. So it's a legal advocacy group. And like they put political pressure on in the attempt to prevent trans people from, you know, having access to care. Like this is where the whole intention is coming from behind, oh yeah, we're gonna restrict access to children's care and then call that like reasonable and then gradually chip away at adults' care because we've wedged our foot in the door. You know what I mean? Ooh, sewing Halloween costumes. That sounds fun. I am hoping that my mother-in-law will give me a sewing machine that is a newer one than the one that I have. Because the one that I have is kind of older and it needs to be maintained. Yeah, just one more argument for why billionaires should not exist. You know, this guy is just endowed with the power to decide that he doesn't like trans people, and he's able to funnel a fuck ton of money into basically presenting a false sense that there is, any actual concern. That was a terrible sound. How did I even do that? Like they send doctors to go testify as though they're experts, even though they're not. This is why you have like dentists speaking out about trans care, is because they're being paid to do it. So let's see. Yeah, he's got a lot of assets, whatever. The contribution to Do No Harm is one of the Edelman's single largest donations. It's also roughly the same amount of money that Do No Harm projected as revenue for 2022, suggesting that the Edelmans were the group's primary funders in that initial year. Let's see. Edelman is not a high-profile political donor closely associated with conservative causes. The only major electoral donations attached to his name are a handful of contributions of around $50,000 or less to the Democrats and Hillary Clinton in 2016 and 17. So the Edelman Family Foundation, which he founded in 2017, contrastingly has showered 6-figure grants on conservative organizations such as the Cato Institute, Foundation for Individual Rights and Free Expression, the Anti-Critical Race Theory Foundation Against Intolerance and Racism, PragerU, and UATX, which is Barry Weiss's unaccredited anti-cancel culture university. I want to find out some more specific things. Zoe Zephyr mentioned in this article. In addition to funding anti-trans rights advocacy through Do No Harm, the Edelman Family Foundation has donated $400,000 to the Manhattan Institute to support, in the foundation's words, a, quote, gender identity initiative. While there are no public descriptions of the initiative on the website, the right-leaning think tank has increasingly published briefs and podcasts critical of trans rights. Manhattan Institute did not respond to a request for comment. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. Do No Harm has also assembled a network of physicians that they can consult for and have them do written testimony, letter writing campaigns, and media hits. The group claims to have more than 5,000 doctors as members, and at least some members are compensated for their advocacy. This is the interesting part. One, there was an endocrinologist named Dr. Daniel Weiss, and he said in a deposition that Do No Harm paid him about $8,000, which turned out to $325 an hour, to submit written testimony in states like Indiana, Utah, North Dakota, and Wyoming in support of bans on gender-affirming care for minors. This exposure led Weiss to a lucrative gig as an expert witness in the legal challenge against Indiana's ban on providing gender-affirming care to minors, the case in which he was deposed. The Indiana Attorney General's office paid Weiss $49,691 for 4 weeks of consulting, according to records obtained by HuffPo. So, yeah. Sorry, my ear itches. He got hired on by Do No Harm, or one of those related organizations, and has also subsequently made money from the state because the Attorney General's office paid him for his consulting, on top of him being paid for doing this shit in the first place by the Do No Harm group. So, yeah. This is all just so weird. So, in addition to propping up medical experts, Do No Harm has paid for activist Chloe Cole's travel when she testifies before state legislators in support of bans on gender-affirming care for minors. Cole, who we reached out to through her lawyer, did not respond to a request for comment here. Cole, 19, has testified before several legislators about detransitioning. Conservatives often point to her story as justification for banning trans care. So yeah, all of her flying around the country and staying in all these different hotels and stuff, like, that's being paid for by this billionaire advocacy group. Okay, and that's the end of the article. It's kind of talking about, like, that people are becoming refugees and, like, they're talking about leaving their states because of that lack of access to medical care. Yeah, it's not, it's just not a good time. But yeah, so at least we have proof now. Something that we've been speculating on basically for a while, like essentially speculating that these folks are being bankrolled by someone. And at least now we have evidence through, like, the tax forms and stuff that Huffington Post was able to uncover. Yeah, it is interesting how often the right claim that everything is a psyop or they're using paid actors, and then here we find them literally actually using paid actors. Of course, for the Republicans, every accusation is a confession. They don't care about whether doing something is right or wrong. Like, they don't care about the idea that hiring paid actors to support your whatever. They don't think it's wrong. That is not the situation here. Oh my god. Drink water, y'all. I personally think that you have to be slightly more fucked to be centrist than fascist because it requires the most cognitive dissonance. I don't know. I feel like it just requires a certain amount of apathy. Like, that you're not, you know, that you're not really trying too hard to figure out whether there's a cognitive dissonance happening, you know? 9 out of 10 dentists recommend using toothpaste, but I just go to the other guy. Like, yeah, what is the one dentist saying? Like, don't use toothpaste. Jiminy Christmas. Okay, so we only have one more actual article that I plan on talking about today. And it's going to be a climate change related thing. Oh, wait. Where? I had a Mike Johnson thing open. Where did that go? Where did that thing about his wife go?
Let's get into Mike Johnson.
Hassan Abi. No, don't need that. Okay, it was this one. Mike Johnson wife. I found it. I did it. There's the link. I found it. Okay, I just need to copy paste this link so that I can put it in my stream notes. Stream notes. Stream notes. Billionaire guy gone. Done with that. Done with that. Good. Okay, we've minimized as many tabs as we can. So we are going to move into one more story here in just a minute. Just taking a breather in between segments. Everybody's excited to continue moving forward and having a normal stream today. Yas, queen. Good news, in Arkansas, the federal judge was able to block the trans healthcare ban on minors and said that it violated First and 14th Amendments of 14th Amendment rights of trans children in the state. My internet is acting up. What did I miss? To be clear, Ursa, it might not just be your internet. YouTube has been fucky in general. So if you come in and the stream is acting weird, it's like it's happening all across YouTube right now. So I apologize. But if you are just coming in, hit the like button. Even if you're just going to leave, do it before you leave. Let's see if in the amount of time that we have left on stream, we can get to 100 likes. We're so close. We're so very close. But yeah, I had not heard about that in Arkansas. That's great to hear. It's not uncommon. I'm not entirely sure what the First Amendment argument is going to be, obviously, in this particular case. But, the 14th Amendment, I think, is pretty clear that there is like a, equal protection under the law thing that you need to work with. So, yeah, that's just me and my opinion, bro. I think that it's the only honest argument that a judge could come to. If a judge is going to say, no, I don't support, no, I'm not going to acknowledge the 14th Amendment breach because of some other thing about how it's not rooted in our nation's history, which I think the concept of the rooted in our nation's history thing, I think that is an entirely invented judge thing. Is it not? There is nothing in the Constitution that says that future laws have to be related to our original intent on the... it explicitly says in the 9th Amendment, and I keep bringing this up forever, that just because just because a right is not explicitly enumerated in the Constitution doesn't mean that you don't have that right. They left room for the idea that, yeah, we didn't cover all of the bases. There's probably stuff that you should have the right to do that we just haven't, we haven't decided to limit the right to do that. Or sorry, we haven't decided to establish, specific rules around that right. So yeah, it's good to see that even conservative places... Can I ride a donkey in a raincoat? I think technically speaking, you can. Originalism is and has always been an excuse for keeping rights from people. Yeah, of course. It's just flimsy BS. Constitutionalism, constitutional originalism, it's so annoying how it does not recognize the fact that the Constitution itself was written with intent to be expanded upon and changed because of the fact that they knew that they couldn't possibly predict all future events that could ever happen. Probably right to free expression. Yeah, maybe there's, I just don't know how a healthcare ban violated the right to freedom of expression. I'm just curious what the argument is going to be, I guess, on that one. So this is kind of a fun / scary article that I was looking at a little while ago, and that is an article about climate change. So you know how, we've been hearing since we were kids that climate change is going to be serious, and we are starting to see, obviously, plenty of folks who live on the West Coast have to deal with smoke from wildfires every year, the sky turning bad colors, that's happening over in New York from Canadian wildfires now. And even here in the Midwest, I'm on the Great Plains, I'm in Kansas. It's our weather doesn't really get too severe because of where we are, but generally speaking, yeah, our summers have been hotter, summers have been longer, winters have been colder, snow events are more rare and generally pretty intense when they occur, or they're fairly mild, I guess, but there's just pretty definitely shrinking springs and fall time. It's not a good moment, and we do have air quality issues from wildfire smoke sometimes, even though we don't really have wildfires here. We're talking shit from Canada and Colorado that gets blown here. So yeah, we are starting to see the effects more even in our sort of insulated communities. We think, oh yeah, if you live on the coast, sure, you're getting hit by it a lot. It's more apparent that there's climate change happening. So I guess that's why it comes as a surprise to me that the predictions are starting to accelerate quite a lot. When we would have 20 years ago, the predictions might have been, we're going to have serious issues with this particular climate change thing at 2080, but in actuality, like now the updated predictions is that we're going to be dealing with it in 2050. You know, it seems like there's definitely sort of an exponential relationship with a lot of these things. And so I was reading this article about preparing for water shortages because this article opens by saying, you know, scientists from practically every field have been predicting this for years. Global demand for water will outgrow our supply by 40% before the end of the decade. By 2050 or sooner, 5 billion people will face water shortages, which is going to include people in places like America. So, you know, this is just a reference. I went ahead and clicked through to the Guardian article. Global freshwater demand will outstrip supply by 40% by 2030, say experts. Yeah, world is facing an imminent water crisis with demand expected to outstrip the freshwater supply by 40% by the end of this decade. Yeah, and so this is just basically going on and sort of explaining that research. The Global Commission on the Economics of Water co-chair says we need a much more proactive and ambitious common good approach. We have to put justice and equity at the center of this. It's not just a technological or finance problem. Yeah, because who's going to get access to clean water is going to be a pretty relevant question. You know, this is, I guess, like looking at increases in water consumption. Some countries use many more times the amount of fresh water than is readily available to them. Okay, so this is like a proportionally, they use more water than is available in these areas. And we're pretty bad, like truly, in the United States, you know, we're pretty bad about using more water than is available. And, you know, for us, it tends to be, it tends to go into stuff like, you know, washing machines. Obviously, other parts of the world don't necessarily have those kinds of amenities. And obviously in hotter locations, like these are all hot places, they're going to be using a lot of water. And people need to use more and more water, like the more the climate change stuff happens. So this article kind of goes into a little bit more detail about it. And yeah, water is fundamental to the climate crisis. There will be no agricultural revolution unless we fix water. Oh my God. Speaking of that, I need to drink more water. Yeah, lawns, that's another thing too. Lawns are a big water consumption thing in the United States. Yummy water. Okay. So let's go back to this. So I guess, you know, since just briefly cover right at the beginning, FYI, BT dubs, by 2050 or sooner, 5 billion people will face water shortages. And so, you know how there are like, what is it, 7.8 billion people on the planet? Like probably getting close to 8 billion by now. But so like the majority of human beings on the planet are going to be dealing with water shortages. So this article is going to kind of go over some of the, and we'll just kind of briefly look through it. We're not going to go into detail on each one, but here are some different ways that you can combat that and survive. So you could harvest rain. If you have a place where you live permanently, you can harvest rain in barrels. Only certain kinds of roofing produce safe drinking water, such as metal and slate. You would have to install a filtering system, change those filters on a regular basis. If you want running water, you would need a pump and a connection to the plumbing system. That all takes time and money, so you could look into that. Rain harvesting. Rain catchment systems, You can store water. Obviously, you can only store so much water at a given time. You could dig a well, but you would also have to filter it. And, you know, you might not be able to... Of course, you would have to set up running water in a way that, like... Unless you don't, you don't have to have running water in a survival situation. You could just, heat up some water and then use it to wash your body as you do when you don't have running water. But yeah, you could get a water generator. The unfortunate thing about those is that they usually use electricity. So if you don't have electricity, then that could be a problem. But a water generator uses the same technology as dehumidifiers, but the parts are all food safe, as opposed to, if you just drank the water out of a dehumidifier, it would probably have a bunch of really bad shit in it from the air. And like also the parts of the machine itself are not food safe, so there could be leaching from the plastics in the dehumidifier. So yeah, you could use a water generator though. But yeah, again, takes power to operate. Some can use as much power as an air conditioner or a fridge. Many are compatible with solar energy systems, however. So you could find that that is a good solution for you if you have solar. You could make a solar still. So water evaporates from the ground. A solar still, they can trap water vapor. This is the basic idea behind transpiration, which is where you tie a bag around a bush or a branch and catch the moisture evaporating off of it. There are a couple different ways to do this. These methods can take a while, producing only a few ounces of water, but that is a lot better than dying of thirst in 4 days. Plus, you can purify dirty water using this method. Evaporation leaves behind most germs and toxins, leaving you a few ounces of clean drinking water. Interesting. You can collect dew and fog, so there's kind of complex ways to collect dew and fog. Fog harvesters. A large installation can gather thousands of liters of water every day, perfectly fine for drinking. Yeah, this person points out there's a big problem. Lots of researchers and nonprofits are working on ideas to address water scarcity. We can pull it out of the air, you pull it out of the ocean using the sun to distill it. The biggest problem lies in mindsets and behaviors. Corporations and CEOs want to define water as a commodity, not a human right. They want to profit off of it, and the average Westerner wants to waste it. They don't understand what a precious resource it is. So you don't have to die of thirst. Excuse me. There are plenty of ways to get drinkable water. Excuse me. Oh, she mentioned these beetles earlier, and I kind of glossed over it. But there are, like, beetles that live in the desert that dew will collect on their bodies, and then they'll drink the dew off of their bodies, and that's how they stay hydrated in the desert. So that's kind of fun. You can easily collect dew with a hole, some plastic wrap, or a piece of foil, and a rock to weight it down. Yeah, so yeah, I just didn't realize before reading these articles that the predictions for water scarcity were that accelerated. Like, it's 2023 right now, and they're predicting that by the end of this decade, you know, we'll be using like quite a bit more water than we have, and that in less than 30 years, we're looking at 5 billion people having water scarcity. And so that's going to creep up on us. It's going to be like, increasingly there's water scarcity. And don't forget, y'all, it's not like, and I want to be clear, this is not something that you can blame on human individual behavior necessarily, because isn't water used in fracking? Like, huge amounts of water are like pumped into the ground. Isn't that the whole fucking thing? So like, it's again one of those things where like, yes, there are things like, you know, washing machines and like long showers and stuff like that are luxuries that we spend a lot of water on, right? And at the same time, if we genuinely compared like everyone's laundry in the country compared to like industrial processes, yeah. So listen, I just want to be clear that I was correct. In the fracking process, cracks in and below the Earth's surface are opened and widened. Hold on, I'm making it bigger. In the fracking process, cracks in and below Earth's surface are opened and widened by injecting water, chemicals, and sand at high pressure. So we're like shooting water into the ground and mixing it with chemicals that make it undrinkable. And I say we, and by that I mean huge corporations are doing this. So just to be clear, yes, there are some issues with our societal lack of respect for resources. However, the more harmful thing, and the thing that we should be focusing on, is the harm that these corporations do by wasting our natural resources in this manner, right? By spilling chemicals in our water and thus reducing the overall amount of usable water in an area. And like, you know, these like destroying the water supply effectively in Flint, Michigan, right? Like, water scarcity is already happening in America, to be clear, and it already has been for like 10 years at least. That's how long it's been since Flint, Michigan was like on the news for having like water that's fucked up there. So it's not like water scarcity isn't already a thing that happens to us sometimes. It's just going to become way more prevalent. And, you know, if you live in a home, if you have like a setup where you could start like a homestead situation, then cool. Yeah, you have like the resources you could build a well. And maybe you could, you know, while you have a job that gives you money, you can install a filtration system. But also keep in mind that, like, how are you going to replace those filters if society collapses and they're not being made anymore? Like, make sure your filters can be cleaned, I guess. They can be, like, reused in that way. Or that it's made out of something that you can make more of. Like, you know, human hair is actually pretty good at, like, soaking things up and, like, filtering. You know, we use, like, big mats made out of human hair to soak up, like, oil spills. So, right, yeah, learn how to make my own activated charcoal filters. Yeah, so it's gonna be crazy, this whole thing, sooner than you think. And it's good to start thinking about this and, you know, seeking out information on your own, because you're not going to hear about this on the news. And then suddenly there's going to be just, like, way too much, like, stuff going on. And, like, you will have not been preparing for it. And, like, I would like to be still going strong in 30 years. In 2050, I would like to feel like I have all that I need to continue surviving for a longer period of time, you know? I know people in their 60s who are, like, still going, still enjoying themselves, having a great time. Like, I'm like, I call these people my friends. I love them. They're amazing. I don't want to feel like my life is over when I'm 60 because climate change is making it so that, like, water is not accessible anymore. If society collapses, I'm just going to check out, TBH. I know you will, mama. I don't want to just check out. I will dig my claws in and like scratch myself out of whatever hole they try to bury me in. Like, that's just the kind of person that I am. I'm the airplane that comes back and forms the survivorship bias, okay? And I'm sorry. Shit, dude, I'm 36 and I feel like I'm staring down the barrel. Yeah, I don't feel that way. But I'm also not a trans woman, so, like, I know that it's different for you folks. I remember seeing a video where, due to water extraction, the Earth has shifted 30% of its axis. I don't think that that's possible. I don't think that human water activity on the surface could adjust the magnet, like, it's basically like the gravitational axis of the planet. That just seems a little absurd to me. Ooh, my tummy hurts. Oh, geez. Apparently, Rishi Sunak is planning to hold the next election on Halloween next year, 31st October 2024. Is this real? What's up, Uncomfortable? Hello? Yas, queen. They said, wait. They said it was because the water was taken from underground but not returned there. I have no ecology background. Yeah, the total amount of water on the planet doesn't really change. It's the amount of usable drinking water that changes. Because even if the stuff is not, like, on the ground, it's going to be in the air. And then it's only in the air as long as it takes for it to rain down. But keep in mind, when we're having discussions about water, that we also read an article recently that stated rainwater is basically not safe to drink anywhere on the planet anymore. It's not just in places where there's going to be a ton of smog, like big cities, but it's like anywhere in the world, basically, you should probably not drink the rainwater straight up without filtering it in some form or fashion. So this has been ongoing for a while, and like, that's just to tell you, basically all freshwater sources are vulnerable to contamination. Gonna go back to drinking beer all the time because it's safer. True. Gotta kill all those microorganisms. Yeah, I agree, uncomfortable. Despite how bad climate change is and will be in my lifetime, I'm having this weird compulsion to be like, yes, it will be bad, and at the same time, I'm committed to doing all I can to make it livable for myself and as many other people as I can. Right. It's like, I have reasons for wanting to live in the Pacific Northwest anyway, and, like, one of the new reasons is because it's going to be relatively climate stable there, like, for the foreseeable future. I feel like I'm finally emerging from the other side of being a climate doomer. Yeah, I am, like, the opposite of a doomer right now. I'm like, I am so aggressively determined to live well. People who don't drink water will laugh at us. We have to save the planet to keep them from winning. True. Draining wetlands and water tables is the big issue right now. Everything is polluted and filtering is expensive. Yeah, of course. And of course, they just stripped, at the Supreme Court level, they stripped federal protections from wetlands. So, like, Kansas has some wetlands that are relatively new, and they're gorgeous, and they're great. Like, it's, it wasn't just plains here back in the day. Like, yes, we did have lots of plains, prairie, but we also, like, did naturally have wetlands here, partially because the plains would hold on to so much water, and it would just form, like, wetlands because it's just retaining a lot of moisture in the soil. And yeah, it's part of our ecosystem. It's part of our natural freshwater production. I'm sure that the plants filter the water quite a bit, and it's not good for those to be threatened. I feel good about the fact that I moved from Florida to Indiana because the Midwest is supposed to be relatively climate stable as well, especially compared to Florida. Definitely compared to Florida, James, but I saw a graphic that basically was like, here's a snapshot in 10 years, a snapshot in 20 years, in 30 and 40 years of basically whether these places are going to start having days where you cannot be outside for longer than 15 minutes without, like, medical problems imposed on you immediately. Like, the average healthy person. Like, right now, there are some places in the world where, like, yeah, if you go outside and you're out there for very long, you will get harmed. So, you know, you're basically in those places required to have air conditioning and be in the air conditioning, or you are at risk of death on the, like, summertime of the year. And so I watched this graph kind of moving across, or like it's almost like a radar map moving across the United States. And, like, where I live in Kansas is relatively climate stable, or, you know, compared to a lot of places, sure. Not a lot of major climate events here, but yeah, it's showing in 40 years, there is going to be this thing where, like, you have to be inside or you will die. And, like, the air conditioners are going to be struggling to keep up, and unhoused people will just die, and you won't be able to go anywhere on those days or to, like, do anything. Like, yeah, congrats, stay home. It's hibernation time. So, and I was looking at this thing in, like, 40 years, and that little sliver between the mountains and the sea in Washington, in the, like, you know, Bellevue, Seattle, Tacoma area is, like, green, and it just stays green. Everything else is getting more red and orange, and it just stays green. I was like, okay, so that it's, like, relatively stable there because, you know, there's the ocean and then the, like, mountains kind of creating this little pocket, sort of. Indiana is mostly drained swampland, so we will see what happens with climate change. It's just gonna dry out. I love the look at this graph meme. It used to make me laugh every time I saw it. Northeast, North Midwest, and North Pacific Northwest are largely climate stable for the next few decades. Yeah. I may have some extremely good news to share, pending how the next couple days goes for Rainbow Passage. Potentially able to open our first spot. Ooh, okay. I'm excited to hear what the news is. That's going to be good stuff. Or is that the good news? Potentially opening our first spot? It's like the high middle as far as the states rank from what I was able to find. Yeah, I guess, yeah, Indiana is, since it's in the upper Midwest, it'll stay relatively climate stable. It was wild seeing all those cactuses and agave plants and stuff keeling over and getting sunburnt. It's been wild. Ooh, yawn. So anyway, yeah, those were my topics for today, for the most part. And we can dick around for a little while longer. I'm super freaking anxious over this, but if it works, we'll be set for at least the next year. Hell yes. Yeah, Rainbow Passage, I know that your website was down for a little bit. You're back up. Back to accepting applications. Oh no, I had the autistic experience just now of cleaning my house, cutting my hand on something, but not noticing until it had bled over what I was working on. No. Oh, the paper cuts that you just don't notice. Oh god. I need to get from the valley bowl I'm in to the mountains I grew up with. I guess, I mean, I don't think that it's just mountains, period. I think it depends on what else is going on around the mountains. Like, it's specifically the fact that I think that the mountains kind of catch all of this, like, sea, like the sea weather and, like, hold it there. Can someone tell me what Rainbow Passage is? Rainbow Passage, let me type it for you in the chat, rainbowpassage.org. It is a nonprofit organization that is just like a bunch of volunteers essentially trying to help people relocate from anti-trans states to like states where there are protections for trans people. So they help people get out of Florida and Texas when the laws start to change that may mean that like you can't access healthcare anymore. So they're helping relocate people, like physically going and getting them and bringing them to better places, helping them get established, like with a roommate or with transitionary housing if necessary. So yeah, it's important work. We've done some fundraising for them in the past. I'm sure we will again in the future. And yeah, like definitely when people ask, how can I help? When we're talking about all this anti-trans legislation and all, it's like, yeah, the thing that you can do is materially help people get out and vote, I guess. Like, you know, do the stuff that you would normally be doing. But like, if you're worried about the acute problem, then yeah, the thing that you probably should do is help people get out. Like, either check out people's GoFundMes individually, or if you are worried about getting scammed on the GoFundMe, then help an organization like Rainbow Passage. Since they vet the people that they're helping, they vet their volunteers, like they are pretty rigorous. You know, it's not just anybody who can participate, so they do their due diligence. And you should support them. And they can still use volunteers, like if you want to help with graphic design or with building the website or with providing, you know, like a couch for someone to sleep on while they're traveling through. That's, you know, still good stuff. There's now a community Discord that is open as well. Right. There's a community Discord which is separate from the planning Discord. Yeah, of course it's very upsetting that Rainbow Passage needs to exist in America. It's not good. It's like globally though, you know, we were above average and then now we're kind of sliding back to what's more normal as far as how queer and trans people are treated in this country. So, yeah. Like, or how queer and trans people are treated across the world, really. Like, America is just sort of returning to the normal baseline of horrendousness, essentially, right now. That just makes me more depressed, TBH. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, when you start looking at it more broadly, it's like, yeah, actually, there are entire countries that we can't go to because we will risk being jailed or killed. You know? Like, my passport is never going to have certain stamps on it because I have no desire to go places where I could die. True. Yeah, and the Rainbow Passage, sometimes people conflate it with the Rainbow Railroad, which is a similar thing, but it's pulling people out of those dangerous countries and bringing them to better countries. I feel like I have no faith in humanity these days. Every time I think I can't lose any more faith in humanity, people find a new low. You know, for the most part, it's not individuals, it's governments, is the one thing I'll say. It's like these systems of power, and I don't think that if individuals had more say over it, that it would be happening to the extent that it is. But that's just conjecture, okay? You do have to look for the people doing good and the people trying to make positive changes. I'm sure that it's psychologically similar to, you can get 10 nice comments on your YouTube video and one mean comment, and the one mean comment will feel like as emotionally important as the 10 positive ones. You do have to, like, try to find the positives sometimes. A game theory. I beat you to it. Oh, no. Did you see the FNAF movie? No, I have not. I don't really go see things in theater. I basically just wait until I can watch them digitally. But I do want to watch it because I like the actor. In fact, it was seeing the hype about Five Nights at Freddy's, partially that made me rewatch The Hunger Games again. Because he's PETA in The Hunger Games, and I like him in that. And I also think that he was the little boy in, what's it called? The Bridge to Terabithia? I think that he was in that movie as a little one. So I just like him. I think he's a good actor. So I'll watch FNAF for that reason. Whew. We're approaching the 3.5 hour mark. He was also in Space Jumanji, Zathura. I didn't see that one. Ooh. I think that, cramps are starting. Ooh, that's fun. Love that for me. Oh, good grief. So, is there anything else that we should cover today on the show? Because my voice is starting to hurt. Definitely need to do more reaction streams, because reaction streams can go much longer. If I can rest my voice, then I can go for way longer. Nobody needs a Blue Sky invite, do they? I have some. Oh man, I want a hot dog. That sounds really good, actually. Did you say ramps are sharding? Did I say ramps are sharding? I don't think so. What is Blue Sky? Blue Sky, it's like Twitter. It's a new website that it looks very much like Twitter, and it's aiming to be a cooler version of Twitter. It looks like, well, is everything okay right now? Let's make sure that there's nothing terrible going on right now. Okay, very briefly, this is what Blue Sky looks like, you know? I'm not gonna scroll because I follow a lot of sex workers, but it just looks like Twitter, basically. Trump might be getting disqualified from ballots based solely on support to run. Wait, what does that mean specifically? Like, support to run? Oh, not enough signatures. Oh, interesting. Maybe I should just use the codes myself. Getting a new follower every 2 weeks would up my growth by a lot. You just make 1 million bot accounts. Don't do it. I would take an invite through Discord. Okay, just DM me on Discord and I'll send you an invite. Because I'm not going to be able to find anybody's accounts on there. You have to PM me. And it will be one of the rare times that I actually acknowledge someone's DM to me. Most of the time, I do not be acknowledging the DMs. Mersh! Mersh! God damn you. Mersh. Mersh. Why? Oh no. Thank you for the dono. Oh. I guess I have to now, don't I? I guess I have to now. I guess I'll buy one. I'll do it. Oh my god. Why? Oh, it's gonna be the most beginner version of a cello, but I guess I'll get one. Mersh ain't even in chat. I know, Mersh, where did you even go? You're like not even here. Goodness gracious. I'm so mad right now. Can I get cello money? It's for bottom surgery. True. Oh my god. Thank you. I'll get the stupid thing. Alright, I'll do it. Alright. Oh my god. Oh gosh. Now I gotta stretch. You discombobulated me. Now I gotta do a whole stretching routine. Oh god. Thank you. I'm like, god damn you. How dare you do this? And also like, alright, well thanks. Did I show you guys, I don't think I did show you guys the jack-o'-lanterns that we made this year. Discombobulate. Yeah, we appreciate a good Sherlock moment. I don't think I did show the jack-o'-lanterns. We talked about jack-o'-lanterns for a while the other day, but we did not, I did not show you the cuties. That's okay. I'll put it on Patreon, I guess. I post free stuff on Patreon, by the way, sometimes, y'all. Like, having just gotten a huge dono, I'm not trying to make money right now, but, like, if you go there, there's free stuff also. You can subscribe for free. And I'll post pictures and stuff like that. I posted a picture of a frog that I made over on Patreon for free. So, check that shit out. Oh, gosh. I guess I'm excited that I get to buy the thing that I want. That's always good. Like, cool. Good stuff. It did go through. Yes, thank you, Mersh. Yes, I am broken a little bit. I'm just like, oh my god. I was not expecting that. I was sitting here like, oh yeah, I should probably get off stream because I'm getting tired and I want to eat lunch. Now I'm broken. Yes, later. Don't know who my oh have fun. I was gonna do a pumpkin thing for my OnlyFans, but there were no decent sized craft pumpkins. I checked 4 stores and all the craft pumpkins were no bigger than 6 inches in diameter. I don't want to do a real pumpkin on account of the mess. Well, you could always like get a real pumpkin and hollow it out. Like you could carve it out. And then put something like squishy and plastic. Like you could wedge a quick shot or a fleshlight in the hole that you carve. Oh, you just don't want to do the carving the pumpkin thing. Okay. I guess I understand that. Yeah, I had we did pumpkin carving and I had my sibling do it, and I think it was the first time they had done it, and they were really not into the whole texture and mess thing. I was like, yeah, but this is fun. I'm like, this is childhood messiness memories moment for me. But yes, it makes sense to me that the craft pumpkins would be too small. Too small. Oh my god, my tummy. Looked at fracking today. I forgot about fracking. I'm glad that I remembered it, though, for that discussion. Let's end stream on a good note. What's something positive that we could talk about or go over that isn't depressing, that doesn't have anything to do with serious problems? I want to get fracked tonight. True. I've already been fracked today, so I really can't say anything about tomorrow. Or tonight, for that matter. I'm scrolling Twitter, and it's like, this is a terrible idea. Any FFS news? What FFS news? Oh, yeah, it does... Or, wait. FFS? Mama Mephistopheles has started a TikTok. It's literally just an introduction video on there, but I want to post random shit. Yeah, I am, there's this cute thing that YouTube does where it gives you little suggestions, for stuff that you could do. And it's basically like, here's what the trends are. I'm gonna tell you what the trends are, and I'm considering participating in some of those, like ones that have something to do with me, or like ones that I could have fun with. So there was a recommended trend, and it could be that this is like, I would be late to the party probably, because it's like, oh, well, if YouTube is telling me about this trend, then it's probably already been around for a while. But yeah, there's cute and fun stuff. It's fun to have little ideas for stuff that you can do. I still have an enormous list of video ideas that we came up with during stream that were like, here, you know, you could try making another Redux video of bi versus pan, or make a video about whatever. Like, we have a list of them, and so I'm wondering if I should sit down and record those videos, or if I should just consider those like stream topics. I'm not sure. It would be kind of fun to do a mixture of content on the channel. Like, some of this is going to be stream stuff, and some of this is going to be prereqs, and you cannot tell which is which before you click into the video. Yas, queen. Are we going to get to 100 likes today? Should we stay on long enough to just make sure to get to 100? I feel like we're so close. Maybe we can get there. With the power of your left index finger. Or I guess your right index finger, either one. With the power of your index finger, click the like button. You can do it. I believe in you. So yeah, I know that some of you have been like working toward your surgery goals, and that's pretty awesome. I'm excited for you getting to do surgery stuff. If the likes get to 100, I'll post some extra titty on Twitter. That Mama says that she's going to post extra titty on Twitter if the like button gets to 100 today. Likes are like cocaine to streamers. It's true. Just give me. It's okay if we don't make it today. It would be cool if we did. Be cooler if you did, but it's fine if we don't. Not a big deal. Was my comment about my dad flagged? Oh, I have no idea. It doesn't always show me the things that need to be moderated, interestingly enough. 92 likes. Ooh, baby! I like that there's about 30 people in here, and most of you are folks who have been in here since, like, we started, essentially. Fuck yes, dude. Aww. Aww, look at that little guy. Aww. He's a little moth friend guy. Is cleaning his little face off. He's so fluffy and fuzzy. Aww. You got a Halloween Samhain present from me, Lux? Yes, thank you, Mersh. Like, seriously, I was flustered, but I do appreciate it. Need my parasocial gang. Yes, I fucking love moths. They're so cute. Like, aren't they just so adorable? Look at him cleaning off his little antennae. Good boy. See, there is cute stuff on the Twitter timeline sometimes. Occasionally. Love to see and hear you playing cello sometime. Yeah, I can't prove that it's gonna be good for a while, but there's definitely a lot of songs that I want to play on cello, so...
Why do they call it oven when you oven the cold food of out hot to eat the food?
Oh, I can't hear it. I don't have my headphones on. No.
Why do they call it oven when you oven the cold food of out hot to eat the food?
True. Brain damage. Oh god, that's always fun. Going to Bigfoot Fest down south in a month. Oh, that sounds amusing. Oh, that sounds like fun. I wouldn't go to a festival about Bigfoot probably, but it does sound like fun. 93 likes. We only need 7 more, y'all. We're so close. So close! Giggity. Good news for NBs. Apparently the gender-neutral term for a night was Sai instead of settling for sir or lady for my Ren Fair peeps. Sai or say? How do you pronounce that? Yes, bring your worst camera to the Bigfoot Fest. Just your absolute worst camera. Long eye Sai. Okay, interesting. I think typically sir is considered to be gender neutral. But, okay, anyway, that was a cute moth. We saw a cute moth. We talked about Bigfoot a little bit. That was kind of a good note. So, I am going to go, I guess, place an order for a cheap-ass cello. I guess. Thank you, Mersh. God damn it. Or I guess I have to wait until tomorrow to do that so that the money will actually be in my account. But, you know, still, that's cool. Maybe the problem is that Bigfoot is blurry, and that's way scarier. A large, out-of-focus monster roaming the countryside. Yeah, his edges are just all frayed and fuzzy. You can't ever focus directly on him. Terrifying. All right, I'm gonna go eat lunch now. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. We had a kind of longish stream compared to normal today, so high five. We did a good job. I'll see you on Tuesday, maybe a little bit earlier than usual, and we'll have a fun Halloween time. Okay? Okay. I'll see you in a bit.